This week on the program, I feel like this movie must have broken the bank with the hair dye budget. It's the Expendables 3. I'm Andrew Jupin.
I'm Steven Sadak.
Eric Stonebanks.
Chris Cabin.
And we hate movies. Welcome to We Hate Movies. Thank you for tuning in. As always, this is a comedy show that takes a movie each week and makes fun of it just a little bit. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, sometimes they're the Expendables 3. This is from 2014.
No, but you said bad. You said the bad.
Speaking of bad, directed by Patrick Hughes. You know him from the director of Hitman's Bodyguard, which I turned off. Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, which I never tried to see. And The Man from Toronto, which Netflix is doing their damnedest not to tell you exists.
What is that?
It's Woody Harrelson and I believe Kevin Hart.
It is,
and like Kevin Hart's like an NYC fuck up, and Woody Harrelson is like
a super killer.
He's the man from Toronto, like an assassin, kind of like his real life father.
A super killer in Toronto. What does he kill? Tim Hortons coffee cups.
He kills Tim Hortons breakfast combos.
Yeah,
super killer. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Everyone, because Canada is very genteel, very like. Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh.
No, but they got some killers out there.
You think so?
Yeah.
He's a psychopathic killer, but so what?
Exactly. I think that's how they react to most of their psycho killers out there.
I gotta tell you though, like this dude gets this directorial credit, but much like Simon West with the Expendables 2,
man.
I feel this is an in-name only. It's got to be Stallone directing these movies, right?
I don't even know if this. I mean, I hope it's Patrick Hughes because Jesus Christ, this is actually like. I mean, at least I remember the first one having a little bit of fun with it. The action in this movie is so terrible.
It is.
I think.
Even the second movie, the kills were out of control. There was like 30,000 people that died.
Really good opening to the second one. Simon West gets to have his fun right up top.
But there's
a big siege right at the open, and I think it's better than even the train. I like the train sequence fine.
The train is fine, but then eventually we get the train to killing the prison itself, and it's just you're watching like CGI bricks fall down, and that's.
But the idea of it is still cool. Like that's what sucks about watching this. I think is like you see all the missed opportunities, and you see the things that would have been better if it was actually a 1980s action movie made in the 1980s. Like there's so many times where, and you can't help it because you're looking at all these motherfuckers that are in this movie that were in those movies, and you're like, well, in 1987, that would have been a real helicopter, and shit like that. There's the part where Sly, it's like, oh, that opening part of the mission is over, and he pushes a button and detonates the helicopter, and it's just a computer explosion. And it's like, that was where I had the first thought this time, where I was like, they would have just blown up a helicopter.
Of course, blow up a fucking helicopter.
What are we doing?
They had the money, they had the guts. You could kill somebody on set back then and hide the body.
Well, look at where you're filming these movies these days, dude. You're going to tell me the Romanian government's going to have a problem with you blowing up a helicopter? I don't
you've
think
got
so.
to pay a nice price on that thing.
Sure.
They probably do it every week in Romania, like every week's the 4th of July, they blow up a helicopter. All you got to do is bring the equipment.
But you get things from that. You get political power from that kind of stuff. Where are you getting it from this? Stallone coming to your fucking one of your Bucharest and be like, hey there!
Yeah, I insisted that we had the premiere in Bucharest, Romania, man. It was such a generous people. And it was a great film. The tax credit, just unbelievable, man. First of all,
I'm staying with Andrew Tate. He has given me the Cam Mansion Alpha, which is on the southern border of Bucharest.
Do you think, man,
Bucharest,
dude, you getting all this money from Bucharest? You got to fucking put that on your taxes. That's gonna be
not fun.
A fucking nightmare.
Yep. Like, did you make any money outside of the United States this year? Oh man,
I'm getting fucked by these Bucharest bucks, man. I just like Got all these Bucharest bucks.
Buco bucks, yeah.
Hello, Canary Island. Yeah, I got some buka bucks I gotta send you.
Well, don't worry, he's doing just fine. Do not worry about Sylvester Stallone. He bought what, like a $90 million house in Florida?
Good for him.
$90 million in
Something
Florida.
like that, yeah.
$90 million to live in fucking Florida. Can you, I mean,
Yeah.
what a fucking
I
scam.
mean, it is going to be a breakaway republic soon, so I kind of get it.
Well,
if you want to corner market a
I
power
heard
there,
they're renaming it to Assmanistan.
the Romanian leu currently is 22 cents on an American dollar.
Is that right? We can live like hell damn ass kings.
you know what? You know, Steven, he might have had an idea. I got to find me a crooked leader. Give me some names. Is Pinochet still alive?
Oh, is it? Damn, man.
We should actually do that. We should move the podcast to Romania, become Romanian nationals, record there.
Yep.
I'm sure it's as cheap because all these fucking scumbags move their shows to Texas because there's no income tax or whatever. But we'll get the universal health care over there.
You got to watch out. Like 9 out of my understanding in Romania, at least, is 9 out of 10 pizza deliveries are actually stings. So you got to be
Right, that's actually true. And there's the hostels they kill people in. But the
That's
good
true.
thing is we can moonlight there and work there.
We'd be in like Flint though, dude, because I got a couple of friends in Romania. It's folks I've worked with over the years. They're really good people.
Oh shit!
We'd
they
get
are.
in with like the good ilk in Romania.
I like
so
that.
we'd be dealing with no hostel managers.
Yeah.
Hostel the horror movie.
Get
that
in
is.
very
Yes, yes.
close with Nikki Chichiscu,
Mhm.
and me and him,
stop.
we're gonna get this show. Oh wait, he's dead too.
Man, Ceausescu gone, Pinochet gone, man. All my friends are dead.
I'm sorry, my brain just shut the fuck off in '93. After that, there's nothing really there.
well, there's so much Botox, man. It's just like playing on my brain like a banjo.
He is at least looking
Like a person,
bit like
yeah.
he's come down in this one
Yes.
finally, and he's looking even better these days. I think Tulsa King, they were like, "Look, man,
Yeah.
you can't be looking like fucking shit on Paramount Plus." Okay?
Tulsa
Can't
King?
do nothing about the sound. What the thing he's making with his mouth,
Sure.
Yeah.
that cannot be fixed.
Sure.
But perhaps the look.
There's a good joke later on when like Statham is over the radio and like Ford can't understand. It was like, what the hell is that guy saying? Like, which is kind of a fine joke. But can you imagine like being like, over? I'm like, I got nothing, dude.
Yeah. Pull up to the second window over.
I mean, the
Yeah.
joke is especially ironic because, like, yeah, Statham's got that sick English, whatever the fuck, but like, you're also comparing that to Sylvester Stallone, Harrison Ford, who you were also talking to
Right.
on this radio.
But Jason Statham's name is Lloyd Christmas. I
Yeah.
understand he's from the Dumb and Dumber verse as well.
Lee Christmas, isn't
Oh,
it?
Lee Christmas.
I
of
kept
course.
saying Lloyd Christmas this whole time I was watching it, dude.
Well, now we could say that for the new one is a Lee Christmas move. Statham gets billing above Stallone in the new one.
Is that right?
Yeah, if you watch the ads on IMDb, is where I've seen.
Well, I
them.
was actually kind of curious, like, why is he still doing these movies? Not that he's rolling in it, but he's like a
Stallone?
Statham, yeah. Like, why? And I guess now to be the king of the Expendables.
Like he likes doing like. I'm sorry, those Meg movies I think did good internationally. Those movies are fucking terrible.
Sure. So is-
Chinese love the Meg
Sea
franchise.
Beasts, they do like Sea Beasts in general, I think.
But Fast and the Furious movies and Hobbs and Shaw are also not good.
No,
So-
well, but Fast and Furious, at least, like, that is a brand that I mean, despite what I think a few people in this room think, there are good ones of them, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
There are.
They're in the back. Okay,
Yeah.
I got to go look.
Furious 7 is the one I go to bat for, but there are
Why,
other
'cause
ones
you
that
just-
I think are fine.
because she's such a Ronda Rousey head, because she's in that one.
Holy
Well,
shit.
James Wan head,
Yeah.
but
We got to talk about her. She's
she's
terrible.
so bad in this fucking movie.
It is.
Holy
This is her
crow.
first acting outing.
Sure.
I would have done better. And I would have looked better in the dress. Okay.
There is, I mean, she thankfully, I think the moment happened, it was like, mid-aughts, like, oh, here's this really attractive, UFC fighter. And people are like, she's got a little charisma, which no one saw. And she did this, she did the Entourage movie, she did Furious 7, and that just window closed. Now she just went to the WWE, which makes so much sense.
Is she wrestling?
Really?
I
these
believe
days?
she's wrestling, yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's
I didn't
does
know that.
a friend of mine, Jason. I shouldn't say this. My friend Jason, he
Voorhees.
he helps does like video work for her
Uh-huh.
these days. Like he lives out in Michigan, but he flies out to LA to do stuff with her.
Yeah.
And he runs, and she does like a lot of in the back, like showing how to do kinetics and like fight stuff and like film stuff like
What
that.
are these, like nudie videos?
No, not nudie videos.
You did get link that. But she is.
Yeah, sorry, Ronda. You just lost $15 from Andrew Jupin. You were about to. You almost closed the deal.
She is so bad in this movie.
She is terrible. Yeah.
I mean, like she's bad in Entourage. She's bad in everything she's ever done.
Wait,
I will
bad
tell-
in Entourage.
I'll tell you this though, like I mean, whatever. She's a fighting person.
Yeah.
She's not an actor.
Yes,
While
exactly.
she's not good at this, every line delivery is still better than her in Entourage, which happened after this movie.
Yeah.
Somebody's fucking in there. Which every time she was on screen during this, in my head, I was like, somebody's fucking in there. Because that is a genuinely terrible line delivery.
And I know this person's terrible, but Gina Carano,
Carano.
Yeah.
she's better.
Well, yeah,
Yes,
she was
of
the
course.
one that actually made it, and then of course, whoops a doodle, she's a piece of shit.
she was a
Yeah,
better
yeah,
actor,
yeah.
maybe not so much a better person.
No, well, I think they're both bad people, probably.
I
They
never
hit
heard
people
anything-
for money.
Well, sure.
I don't
the other
hit
people
people
get
for
paid.
money.
Yeah, you get paid to get hit too. You know?
I guess that's fair. Should I go into that? Should I go into
Dude, I'd love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to see you get punched in the face for
Yeah,
money. Yeah,
I mean, these teeth are on their way out anyway. Might as well just fucking finish that off.
Are you trying to do a jackass rip? Just like somebody punches you every
Speaking
time.
of which, I mean, you want to finance these new teeth, you can now get these episodes ad-free.
That's true.
That's right.
Patreon.com/WeHateMovies.
Go check it out.
Pay for my smile.
That might get knocked around if
It
things
will-
get tight.
Oh, it will be.
I mean, this movie is a disaster. I mean, I really think that this movie has like no redeeming qualities, even as stacked of the cast as it is, which is actually one of the biggest problems. We spend the first 25 minutes getting Wesley Snipes out of whatever bullshit fake prison he's going to.
Yep.
Serbia, I think it is.
He's actually Serbia. That's a real place, not Asmenistan.
No, yeah.
It's like we get
Serbia's-
Serbia
yeah.
and then we get Romania.
Somalia. We got Somalia second.
Yeah, this wait, what is this? Where
Serbia.
Serbia is the train. Swaziland is where Terry Crews gets shot.
Yeah.
They go to Romania at one point, and then the end of the movie is in a fake.
But
country.
you know, it really doesn't matter because
No.
it all feels like a fake
Well,
country.
because
it's all Romania.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting about it is Asmistan?
Asmenistan.
Asmenistan, when they look at the file after
Yeah.
they say it, the file says Afghanistan.
No way.
Yes,
Does it
it
really?
absolutely 100% does.
Oh, didn't want the Bin Laden estate to sue us, man. Can't say Afghanistan.
But Wesley Snipes, who's so you're so excited. He does nothing in this. Like in the beginning, it's
No.
like, oh shit, how is Wesley Snipes going to fit in with these Expendables?
Yep.
And then the rest of the movie is just the rest of the movie.
It seems like he's integral to the plot. We are breaking him out of this prison
Yeah.
train, this huge sequence. We're calling him Dr. Death. He's killed more people than the plague. He's better at knives than Lloyd Christmas is, if you could believe such a thing.
Sure.
And then nothing. Then he's
Yeah.
written out of the movie.
Well, there is literally a part in the final action sequence of this movie where when your brain finally starts to go, hey, where's Wesley? There is literally a shot of him laying on the ground playing dead as people run by. And
Which
I was
is-
like, oh, that's where he's been.
Which, I mean, speaking of Patreon, we got an episode of on Blade, which I'm glad I was able to watch that before I watched this because I'm like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I fucking love Wesley Snipes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Because here it's just a pale imitation, and it's just we're doing these dumb jokes, like the whole tax evasion joke.
evasion
That's
jokes.
why he was in jail.
Because I think this was probably his
One of the first movies.
maybe not the return,
Yes,
but
yeah.
like the biggest profile
Absolutely.
Yeah.
since he was unfairly fucking jailed for that shit. Because let me
That's right.
find me a fucking white guy that goes to jail for that shit
Yeah,
that much.
Right.
I'll wait.
Exactly. Taxation is theft.
This motherfucker did the full term. He was in prison from 2010 to 2013.
Uh-huh.
The full fucking
They
term.
treated-
For
Wait, they
tax
put you in
evasion.
jail for that? I don't
Oh,
know. I'm
wait.
like, hey,
Wesley, no, man. Wait, you fucking killed a kid, right, man? I mean, who's not? We don't go to jail for taxes, right? We're
They-
rich people.
I
They
haven't
called it tax evasion.
hey, babe, did I pay taxes on Rocky? It's either Rocky 2 or Rocky 3. I stopped paying taxes.
That's when I was like, you know what? Enough's enough, all right? I've paid some taxes.
Hi, I'm Sly's wife. I've been paying the taxes. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, dude, Rocky 3. I was like, no, thank you.
I mean, I think the
Yeah.
problem there is that you have 3 major additions to the cast, and you give the other 2 way more to do. You give Mel Gibson way more to do, way more to say.
Which he's a villain, which makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yes. And also, I mean, Antonio Banderas, he gets a big, at the end, at the back half of this, he gets a lot to do.
It is the Antonio Banderas show in the third act.
It is. And he's good and he seems energetic and he wants to be there. I was into this performance by Antonio Banderas, and Mel Gibson's not half bad either.
No, I think the issue is that it's probably structured exactly like this, where Wesley Snipes is your opener, Mel Gibson fills in the middle part, and then you get Banderas in on the end, and that's how your flavor profile's going.
Right.
And then the first one, the problem is that you also have to set up your stupid fucking movie, so his stuff gets cut right in half because you did all the setup shit.
And that you have the 4 new baby Expendables, Ronda Rousey, and 3 absolute zeros. Like
Glen Powell.
Like Powell's a zero?
At the time, an absolute dud and a half.
Yes.
I agree with that because this guy didn't get off the goddamn floor until Top Gun Maverick, right? What else was he in?
Rick Linklater's all
right,
come on. What the fuck?
Everybody wants him.
Everybody wants him. He's great.
Amended. Because actually, no, I did mean Glen Powell. He at least is the hacker guy, so he's got stuff to do. But Victor Ortiz and Kellan Lutz.
Christ. Yes.
I mean, I couldn't tell them apart. I didn't know who was on the motorcycle at the end, and I didn't know why I should care.
Expendables 2, I think, is the one with Liam Hemsworth or whatever.
Yes.
Who gets blissfully murdered and actually dies, and that's
and
the
then you
thrust
get
of
Norris.
the movie.
What if we had 4 of them or whatever? And it's like, this is too much to add, especially when you're trying to make Snipes a thing. Snipes should be at least integral to the climax of the film.
You're absolutely correct.
I kept thinking Snipes was going to flip on everybody or something.
Sure,
like
That's how I was
not?
misremembering the movie, because I think it's the end of the faculty episode when Steve, when you say like we're doing Expendables 3, talking about Wesley and whatever, and I was like, isn't he the villain in them? I had like a big mismemory of him flipping on them.
Everyone's a good guy except for Mel Gibson, and everybody lives, which is insane for a movie called The Expendables. And it's a Dirty Dozen, Suicide Squad-esque premise wherein half of these guys should be killed in each movie.
Absolutely. They should be killed, and we should see them die. Instead, we have a PG-13 movie where you do not see really any like people die, quote unquote. They fall down.
It's all just digital gunfire, which I'm not opposed to digital gunfire. Like that's clearly a thing that we should be using more these days. But like, I need fucking squibs. When you have these movies where like not only now is it Statham, but Wesley's also a knife guy.
Yes.
I need some throats getting cut. Maybe you see Wesley's shaving with that huge fucking sword knife at the beginning. That needs to decapitate somebody.
I also need the commander of the Afghanistan army or whatever to be an actual character, a heavy, a number 2 to Gibson. I need, because these just guys wearing army fatigues and berets just falling down doesn't cut it. I need a character that is in the military where we are represented.
Yes. These are all things that, like, yes, if you get rid of the young cast, you can fit these things in, and it's not so much about like I can't have my team die on me kind of shit. The problem is that represents the confused idea of this movie, which is like, you would think since it's Stallone, since it's these older guys, the whole point is like to age gracefully, like that you are doing, like, you're still hard, you can still do it. But like, you have accepted your age. Like, you can't keep doing this shit.
Dude, 3 or 4 pills, I'm hired as a fucking rock. Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
It's gonna last like 6 hours, man. It's great.
But then, like, the whole thing is that the whole time they're like, no, actually, what's cool is acting like you're young when you're an older guy. Acting like you can do everything on your own is actually the coolest thing in the world.
You set up those 4 kids to be like a passing of the torch. This is the younger generation of the Expendables. We talk about how so many have died. Like Wesley Snipes is like, oh, where's Woodsman and where's whoever? And they are dead. So we get some young blood in there, and it's like, oh, this is great. This is, he's passing the torch. This young bucks up and coming. But no. Because they're millennials, I have to save them in the end.
Yes, exactly.
They cannot actually achieve anything. It drove me nuts.
But even if that's your point of view, then kill 3 or 4 of them. You know what I mean? Kill
they
all
don't
4
all
of them.
have to be saved.
Kill 2 of them. Because like there needs to be a body count on that end. Even I was thinking about it too. Like, nobody even gets shot. Like in the action in a random, any action movie from the 80s, any Stallone, Schwarzenegger, whatever, he's getting shot in the shoulder and he's getting through the facility. He's like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. these dudes are fucking bulletproof.
Yep.
None of them get shot. Like, and there's 12 of them at one point. It's insane.
It's
There's
totally
Terry
crazy.
Crews erasure.
That's fair. But at the end of the movie, to your point, there's like 50 people in one helicopter.
Yes.
I'm like, how can this fucking
Think
fly?
of it this way.
Yeah.
If you were watching McBain, right, and it's that McBain episode, McBain movie where McBain's partner, he's bought the boat.
And you're talking about The Simpsons,
The Simpsons,
not the
not
Christopher
the
Walken.
Christopher Walken
movie, yeah.
Gary Busey movie.
I forget.
Whatever.
He's in Bulletproof. I know that much.
Point is,
Butthorn.
there is that McBain movie where McBain's partner is like shot to death. The great Mendoza. And then imagine if at the end of that McBain movie, the partner was just alive. Like, and whatever, there's on the trivia, like, oh, Terry Crews begged Sly, not like,
Too
there
bad.
has to be something.
I mean, I'm sorry,
tough shit. You're on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's a hit TV show. Sorry.
But that's the problem with doing these. The people they're celebrating, Stallone and all, the one thing that they always had in their contract is my hero cannot die. So they probably allow all of them to have that in their fucking contract.
It lessens your fucking product, though. And to the thing about like
they don't care about the quality of the product. They don't give a fuck.
Sly at least was like, these will never be PG-13 rated ever again.
Man, I love that quote. It's like, that was a huge miscalculation on our part.
That was clearly the problem with this movie.
That's the last time I believed the bean counters, man.
Because I mean, it makes no sense because obviously the audience of this movie, as we've said numerous times, is divorced dads. I mean, I think we who are now in the older millennial spectrum are on the younger cusp of what the audience for this movie is. You know what I mean?
What's so crazy is
being in our mid 30s when this movie came out or whatever, or early 30s.
But like, if you're like, okay, we're worried about the continuation of this franchise or whatever, let's get young people in. One, the whole conceit of these movies from the jump was, isn't it cool that all these older action stars are in the same movie? So nobody gives a fuck in the first place. Nobody's fucking coming to these movies for the young kids in them. And like, whatever we think about how great Glen Powell is, which he is or whatever, but like, who's coming to the movies for fucking Victor Ortiz?
Fucking nobody.
Victor Ortiz, great boxer, not much of an actor. Nobody gives a fuck. So like, either you don't have them in this movie at all, and it's just an Expendables adventure, which is what people are buying tickets to, or they're all dead meats. Like Liam Hemsworth is in that second movie. JCVD fucking kills that dude.
They should be dead meats because I guarantee none of them are in this fourth movie that's coming out.
They're not.
That is now coming out almost 10 years after this movie.
Because this movie is so fucking terrible. Or a third option, which is probably a better option, they're Mel Gibson's squad of super fucking killers, right?
Yep.
It's like Ronda Rousey is like his number 2, and she's like breaking necks with her thighs. And Victor Ortiz is punching. Also,
I like that.
It is like whatever, and like all, and they it's the young. Oh my god, it's us against the young bloods. How are we going to beat them?
And that could be Gibson's motivation, right? Is like, you're running around with the same old fucks. Look at these new guys that I got, or whatever. Mia's Stonewall, or what's this guy's name?
Stonebanks.
Oh, Stonebanks.
Stonebanks.
So they save Wesley in a very long, protracted sequence. He's in Hannibal Lecter gear in the first.
He is.
He definitely is.
The train sequence is okay. The part that I like about the train sequence is the cord that's like ripping dudes in half.
Now,
which I kind of want to see.
You need to be seeing the rips. You need to be seeing the decapitations, and that's what sucks. That's one of the scenes I'm talking about where I was seeing the potential.
Yes.
Where it's like the Expendables get this huge metal cable and string it along the train tracks, and the train fucking nails it. Nails all the goes by it, and the dudes all get railed, and you're like, yeah, but like a fucking torso here and an arm there.
I mean, Snipes even cuts some people's necks in this, and we just instantly cut away, and it's like it's implied.
It's producer brain. I mean, it's what has always killed these things. It's like 4 quadrant. We have to because that's the Victor Ortiz. UFC and boxing. 2 people who love that, divorced guys and young people,
right?
Like theoretically, and I suppose that's what they also thought about Ronda Rousey. Yeah. But like Glen Powell, I mean, he's just a good actor, so I guess that's what your thought process is there.
But it's like I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure with things like Creed continuing and like the various dipping in and out of movies that Arnold has done over the years, like you can still get younger people to these movies without having the fucking kid hit squad.
And like fucking Kellan Lutz. Oh, we're gonna get some of that Twilight movie.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so good.
That one guy from Twilight that like he's not the best actor or the most memorable character, but he's the beefiest guy. So if you had to pick a Twilight vampire to be an Expendable, it's Kellan Lutz. And didn't we all love his work in Nightmare on Elm Street 2010, folks? Oh yeah, he's a fucking genius.
What was Kellan Lutz? Oh God, damn it! I wanted Cam Jagan dead. I just fuck. Oh God. Okay. Yes. Very nice to meet you, Keller.
For Kellan Lutz, press 4. For Cam Gigandit, press 5.
I'll get my boxing brain out again, man. I'm mixing up names.
Who cares about any of these fucking people? Get Dudikoff. Keep going on your original
Carl
idea.
Weathers. You know, like
yes.
I mean, Seagal was mentioned. Seagal definitely should be in this movie.
Right.
Apparently, he turned it down. You're not going to film in Russia? I guess not. Unless you're filming in the Russian Federation, man. I'm not making movies anymore.
Yeah. Oh, does it require me to stand? No, thank you.
Romanian lou, that's for losers. I need rubles, baby. Extra rupees.
Oh, you want me to play the heavy? I am the heavy.
But like you had Nick Cage apparently in talks to play Bonaparte, the character that is now.
I'll step in for Mr. Cage. No problem.
How is adding Kelsey Grammer to this a thing at all? I can understand Ford because of Jack Ryan and all of his other roles.
Of course. I got to tell you, I very specifically remember seeing the trailer for this movie in theaters, and they do basically the same victory lap thing that they do at the end of this movie for the trailer to show you all the stars that are in it. And it's like, fucking Sylvester Stallone, whoosh, Terry Crews, whoosh, Jet Li, Harrison Ford. And I remember Kelsey Grammer comes up and I went, what? Like just literally just out loud in the theater, like, what the fuck are you talking about, trailer? That has to be a mistake. Thought I was getting punked.
So we save Wesley. We're in the plane and they're like, there's the funny joke of what did you do? And he's like, tax evasion. But the real is, they're like, well, he was part of some political assassination, and we got him out of that hole. Well, actually, to be quite honest, he was killing kids. He killed black people. Screw went loose. He turned into a child serial killer in Albania. I mean, like literally, like 30. But it was an expendable. Always, I mean, like I got the pictures. They will change your life if you see these pictures.
Yo, Sly, what did I say about that? Oh, sorry. Disappeared some children. He disappeared a few of them. Nobody's saying nothing about murder.
They used to call him the Baba Yaga because the kids would like check under their bed for him because literally like 40 kids, a lot of kids.
There's a great when they're telling like his in the movie like what the backstory is or whatever, and Stallone has to say like it was a botched political assassination in Swaziland. And the way that Stallone delivers this line, it's as if either Stallone or the character that he's playing doesn't believe that Swaziland is a real country because he goes like, yeah, it was like this tits up political assassination in some place called Swaziland. And I'm like, that's a real one.
You're a geopolitical operative. It's like this.
You're right. That seems to me like if you are a geopolitical operative, something about knowing all the countries.
We're gonna stop at Candyland afterwards if you get my drift.
Was he supposed to say Asmanistan there? Because that's the fake country we go to later.
The fake one.
And why the fuck is Swaziland sending a prisoner to Serbia? Is that what's happening?
And there's like the thing with the guy's got like an AI portrait of himself behind him.
It is so cheap and it is so shitty.
That's like the warden of the jail. I think you're talking about. They show this dude and like he doesn't have a single line in the movie, but he's the big deal because he's got the portrait behind him. You look at this dude and you're like, oh, you're an NPC.
Yes,
like Dr. Doak is about to be killed. All of these just are nothing. Faceless Eastern European stuntmen.
And of course, because it's scary Eastern Europe, right? Like, okay, the train goes right into the fucking prison. You know what I'm saying?
Blows the fucking thing.
I didn't even think about it.
I mean, I think that is just like all of these movies, and sometimes in louder ways than others, they have to show the right wingers some leg. So stuff like that you have to. We'll get to one line, but fucking Kelsey Grammer, which is a howler, but like. The one thing that struck me the most is at the end of this movie when they're doing the like show off like who's in this movie.
Right.
Each one of the characters gets their own stupid gun.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They get
true.
a stupid
Or a
little
knife,
digital gun
Yeah.
that they're not holding. It's
No.
just in front
No.
of you,
It
just to
represents
remind you
them,
about
yeah.
guns one more
Well,
time.
just FYI, that is an NFT. That's going to be worth more than gold pretty soon.
Take out your cell phones now. NFT for free.
And Kelsey Grammer's is an airplane,
Yes.
which may or may not contain money.
All right. The money plane.
So they're like, oh, by the way, we're going right immediately to another job. And like Snipes is like, oh, I wanted to go home. I wanted to do this and that. It's like, no, man, you think you got boosted for free? Everybody's got to work here. Oh, there's no plan. We're just going to shoot stuff. I mean, that's just, where are we going? I don't know. We're going to shoot stuff.
We do meet up here with Terry Crews as the legendary Hail Caesar. And he's got a big boat that he's waiting for these dudes to get on so we can go do this mission.
He's like, oh, we got to catch up with arms dealer Victor Mims, or whatever the fake name first.
That's
Frankie
right.
Muniz. We have to.
Oh, dude, I wish.
It's fucking ridiculous, man. I couldn't believe it when I read the profile. Frankie Muniz, successful child actor, man. I watch Malcolm in the Middle just as much as anybody. Now, world famous arms.
And
dealer.
How's Hank doing?
Arms deal and tiny race car driver.
We're just jumping into another action sequence
right away.
and and that's the thing too, is that it's been my problem with action movies for a while. Like, action sequences are way too long,
Yes.
and there's too damn many of them. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
I am not over that first sequence yet.
Yes.
I don't know who half these characters are. I'm still.
Yes.
I need like a scene of like camaraderie, or like, and again, even a planning scene would ground me.
Well,
in
That's
that
why
stuff.
we got to go back to Rusty's, dude. Go back to that fucking
Oh, yeah.
bar.
Exactly. Formulate the plan. Go over it. I guess that's sort of a way that the Fast and the Furious does it better, because they'll take that moment you got Vin Diesel.
Gotta get a plan, man.
Yeah,
Let's go to the safe
exactly.
house, look at a couple of LED TVs.
That's
Exactly.
what I fucking love an LED television set.
By the way, this is Somalia. This
is
was
Somalia,
Somalia,
right
okay.
here.
this,
Okay.
yeah, this is
So
Mogadishu.
Swaziland was where he had the tits up
Yes,
political
yes.
assassination. This is
Ooh.
Somalia.
Terry
Got it.
Crews gets has his problem and has a really bad back pain at the end of this. Gets shot in the back.
Because it's a whole other big dumb action sequence. We have to
I
go
will
through
say
a whole lot of it.
No, we don't have to, but I will say a highlight of it, even though it's like not. I feel a movie with a bigger budget does this better because you maybe could actually do it with less digital.
Sure.
But all the shit of like Wesley, or I should say Wesley's stunt double parkour
Yes,
climbs like
yes,
up
Yes.
to this little crane thing, and he's picking up the shipping container, and he's like, "Hey guys, I got your ride," and all the Expendables get in this, and like parts of that are cool. But like if you had waited, I don't know, 20 minutes,
Yes.
just so I could figure out what the movie's supposed to be about instead of jumping right into this, because it is exhausting. But we're shooting a bunch of stunt doubles here. And the long and short of it is the dude Mims, or whatever the guy, this arms dealer, Sly's looking through his binoculars. Oh man. Oh, I think I know that guy, man. Oh, hang on a second.
That's my mortal enemy. Let me pause before I shoot him in the head. I just got to give a minute. No, not going to shoot him.
The yelling of Stonebanks when he sees him is so
It's
incredible.
a fucking war cry. And he's like firing wildly. And I think the rest of the Expendables, they're like, what is he do? Did he just yell Stone Banks? What the fuck is that?
He's finally losing it. Okay, this has got to be his last mission. Okay, yeah, it is late in the day. We should have known before we even got out.
Did you get a nap in here, man?
The CTE these guys must have. Forget about it.
Oh, with all the flashbangs and getting thrown off buildings and whatnot?
We do find out later that Stonebanks was an expendable.
He co-founded
one of the co-founders.
Yeah, so it's
The founding father.
This time it's personal, man.
Yeah, which
His
is
co-founder right there. His name's on the wall.
You better lawyer up.
because I'm not coming for 5%. I'm coming for all of it.
It's the 90s. We're going to sue you. It's 2014.
Sorry, I left my fuck you flip flops at home.
Oh, who would be Timberlake in this scenario?
I think it's got to be
Kelsey Grammer.
Stonebank, it's cleaner. Okay. All right.
But so they dispatch of all Stonebank's bad guys, and then Stonebank's on his way as he escapes, and he has Sly in his sights, and he's like, no, that's not enough. Then he goes to Terry Crews, and he's like, I'm gonna shoot we talk about what a fucking psychopath piece of shit monster this guy is. Fucking sell this guy up. Who kills no one of consequence?
No. He seems like a good guy.
He's
got a lot to say, that's for sure.
He shoots Terry Crews notably in the leg and the ass.
Yes. And
no, it's the back.
Is it the back? I thought it was the ass.
Because I thought it was the ass at first too, because I think that's where like the sight is when the gunshot goes off. But his whole fucking chest is blown out.
Oh, I see.
So they're doing like like pressing on it, but it does look like an ass shot.
That's why I was confused. I was like, I don't know. I mean, isn't that the best place to get shot? His ass has 2 weeks to live.
It's the JFK magic bullet attack. If he aims it there and it comes out his chest.
Oh yeah, got him in the ass, and then it took a sharp left and went up into his chest.
Just by accident. Whoops.
Yeah, but, Stonebank in general needs to be actually meaner and more evil than the actor playing him.
Yes,
that's true. Give him some actual weird shit to say. Please.
So far, Stonebank's way better person than Mel Gibson.
Absolutely.
As far as I can tell.
Generally speaking, yes.
He's a connoisseur of the fine arts.
I've heard some stories that don't seem good about him, but generally speaking,
I didn't get to see that file on him that Stallone's passing around.
I think that Stonebanks couldn't actually get book work with S. Craig Zoller. Actually, I think that he's too good of a guy.
Yeah, I mean, apparently he did some war crimes that The Hague is going to be involved.
Yes, sure.
Yes, we learned a little later.
What is that these days? We all do war crimes.
Isn't that going to be most people who own banks at this point?
War crimes? For banks?
I think they all go to The Hague, right? Any major bank, anybody who runs okays things, I think they all go to The Hague.
In a just world, perhaps.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm a beautiful future
Find
world.
me a banker going to jail, dude. I don't know about
Let's
that.
talk about the Expendables Wesley
world.
Snipes. We'll see.
Yeah. Wesley Snipes could go work for a bank and then you put him in jail. As you can see, a banker would go to jail. But yeah, I do love it. Is kind of a supremely nice fuck you that Stonebanks gives these guys. Just drops this missile on them, and they all go flying into the river.
Yes, the classic when the explosions, the force of the explosion. No, you're not actually going to be hurt. You're fine. It's like getting a gentle, warm breeze.
Right.
You get pushed into the nearby body of water, which happens to
Healing
Stallone
properties.
twice in this fucking movie.
Yes, you're right.
Twice later on the bridge.
And we get a little Saving Private Ryan screech noise because post bomb, right? Is that here?
Oh yeah, you get this. It's Saving Private Ryan,
Stallone's
but
holding his ears. That's at the end.
Oh, that's at the end. Sorry,
but like the them around the body, it is like Giovanni Ribisi about to fucking lose it.
Oh yes,
but it's funny because that is that scene. But all around them is 9/11. It's all ashy shit everywhere.
Yep.
They're still on there. It's 2014 and you're still doing that shit, man.
Absolutely.
Christ.
You got to do it, dude, because if you don't, then all your voting block's going to forget.
And it's very unclear. It seems like they take him back to America.
They do because that was my next thing. That's exactly what they do. This dude gets fucked up in Somalia and they're like, you know what? Airlift him to New Orleans so he can be at Parish General Hospital because we got to be down the block at Rusty's, our favorite Nolans hangout.
You look me in the eye. Do you trust a Somalian doctor? You look me in the eye. You tell me.
Hey, fuckface, I saw Captain Phillips. Fuck that shit.
Listen, I just looked on my phone. There is no etouffee in a 60-yard radius. If I'm going to be at this guy's bedside, I need some etouffee. I would like maybe a muffaletta sandwich a little bit.
I'd maybe like Mickey Rourke to reprise his role. Oh, he's not doing that. Okay.
Yeah. That's a big mistake.
Yep.
And that apparently, that void is why
the Bonaparte character exists.
Kelsey Grammer exists in this film.
Just fucking listen, remove one of the kids, the younger people.
Sure.
Whichever one you want.
Kellan Lutz. It's Kellan Lutz. It's Kellan Lutz.
So the next movement of the film is basically the plot of 3 to 4 Harry Potter movies, which is, oh no, all my friends are in trouble. I, a very special young boy, am putting my friends in danger by being so special, and the big bad is going to get them. I have to push my friends away.
I gotta tell them to go home.
And like they quit and everyone's so mad. It's exactly the plot of at least 3 Harry Potter movies.
Okay.
And then at the end they come back and they're like, wow, I guess I needed you all along, my friends.
Absolutely.
Expelliarmus.
But now I got a new friends. I got new friends like Helicopter and Harrison Ford, who flies helicopter.
Big thing that I hate that Stallone leaves at the hospital with Hail Caesar here is my lucky ring.
With the Super Bowl ring?
Yeah, the trope of like characters having lucky things, I just despise because I think thinking that you have a lucky thing is baby shit and it's embarrassing.
This guy would definitely have a lucky hat.
It's sports brain, you know, like those guys are just like, I gotta put on my diaper to watch the Giants or they're gonna lose.
My lucky diaper.
The last time the Giants won the Super Bowl, man, I was taking a huge dump in a diaper. I better do that again.
I don't mind having like a lucky whatever thing. That's fine.
I think it's embarrassing.
Is a little ridiculous if it is like a limited edition Tom Hardy jewelry special made
lion ring.
I don't know what the fuck is even on this thing.
I don't know what's going on, by the way, with these dudes and their huge fucking meat cleaver hands or whatever, but I'm looking at this ring and I'm like, I think that would be a bracelet on me.
Well, yes.
It just looks so huge.
Well, maybe like in Lord of the Rings, it would get smaller. If it came like Sauron takes it off. It's like, oh, wow, it's huge.
I put this on and I disappear.
Like a glove. Also in the hospital, really quickly, I know we moved on, but Wesley Snipes wearing a hip hat. He looks fucking cool right here. He's wearing a hip hat.
I would be like, so you guys got this? That guy, I feel so bad for it. Please give me the card. I'll sign it. And Wesley said, I've been in fucking some Serbian prison for fucking 20 years for killing children. I'm getting a haircut, getting laid, you know what I mean? Again, eating a sandwich.
Gives himself a haircut with a big old knife.
Yeah.
That's great.
Why spend the money? I mean, come on.
Or taking a shower, possibly. You know what I mean? Like,
but he likes to kill. That's what he's been wanting to do all these years, and he hasn't been able to do it. He's got to get back on the battlefield.
He doesn't seem particularly bummed out about having to go on the
You're right, because his name is Dr. Death, and that is screenplay. We got to take that again. Oh, okay. So we'll put Dr. Death in now. We need something better than that later.
Yes. Also in this scene, though, the return of Trench. Here's Arnold. Is he going to pull through? How is he doing? Do you like my hair dye? It's a shade or two more chestnut than yours hair dye, Sly.
It's still the cheapest shit on the market, though, as you can see.
I visit him every day. I hold his hand.
I crushed one of them. I'm sorry.
I crushed his hand.
Poor Hail Caesar. I feel so bad for him.
Is that, you could tell me, is that his real name? It can't be.
Also,
that's a little stupid.
I know we're doing camaraderie. It just doesn't ring true that any of these guys would visit fucking anyone in the hospital.
No. Well, they do the one time, and that's no one's sitting.
Yeah, no one's like sitting, vigil on him or whatever.
But when he disbands, so Stallone disbands the Expendables.
Yes,
and he's like, it's getting too real out there. I can't imagine one of you guys dying. I'm like, that's the whole point of the whole fucking franchise.
You're called the Expendables, dude. It's not called the fucking Inclusivity Survivor Brigade. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Oh, he even says to it's just. I'm just so worried that we're gonna live fast and we're gonna be in a hole and no one's gonna care. I'm like, that's something you got to work personally. You need to make interpersonal relationships.
Maybe meditate.
Where someone's gonna work at your go to your funeral.
Live fast, die old.
Live fast, die old, and live a fucking HGH ridden corpse.
Yes,
totally. Make it look like you are a fucking old catcher's mitt that's also somehow smoking 4 packs a day as a baseball glove.
I guarantee you, when he dies. And his family has to ID him. It's gonna be a solemn affair, I know. But like, he's gonna look like an alien. He's gonna be like gray, like something with all those chemicals being like released at once. It's gonna like melt him.
He'll turn into Bruce Davison in the first X-Men movie.
Yes, exactly.
Into nothing
because he's more chemical than man.
Yes.
When I die, I'm gonna turn into a puddle.
I can't wait to be jelly. I've waited all my life to be jelly.
There is a great in that. Right before he breaks everybody up again, just because Arnold, it's a great Arnold where he's just like, oh fuck, what does he say? Hang on, it's at the hospital. He's just like, let me know if you need any help with stone banks, and it's just this like, let me know if you would like me to continue to be in the film, which I will.
I thought you killed stone banks.
Oh wow, Which one was he again? I'm so like checked out of this whole enterprise.
Everyone has such cool but forgettable names.
Oh yeah,
like
he's
Trench.
He's the one who worked for Walter Rockcheck.
Who was Tank Hammer? I just have the word Tank Hammer in my brain. I feel like we went somewhere with him.
Was there a real guy named Tank Hammer? Is just a cool thing I made up in my brain.
Don't you have a guy named Toll House?
Toll Road.
Yeah, he makes cookies, right?
Oh, Randy Couture, I love your chocolate chip cookie recipe. Toll Road.
By the way,
he talks as much as a Tall House cookie in this one. I'll tell you that much.
Fuck him. Remove him.
Kill
him.
Yeah, it should be the end of the road for old Toll Road.
Because I think he got the Terry Crews in the second one. I think he's the one who got injured.
Oh, is that
he
right?
He should have been killed, and then we could have paid Mickey Rourke or Bruce Willis or Nick Cage.
These guys need to be like the drummer in Spinal Tap, where it gets an increasingly hilarious way the dude dies all the time. You know what I mean?
But instead, guess who's drummer in this? Harrison Ford.
Oh, yeah, drummer.
Drummer's in the house.
Bum, 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 bum. Here he comes, dude. Just like, what fucking hole did you pull this guy out of for this thing? It's insane.
Church can't come. He had self-respect.
Oh, yeah. Church had the audacity, Bruce Willis had the audacity to fucking ask for a little more money in this movie. And they're like, nope.
And Harrison Ford gobbling up his scraps. That's kind of embarrassing.
Oh, man.
It is. And it's like, and the problem with the movie is it's so self-aware because he even says something like, Church, he's out of the picture, which is, LOL, he's out of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then later in the movie, to let you, the audience, know that Harrison Ford had fun in the movie, he has to go, man, I'm having fun doing this.
Yeah,
it's like,
I don't know. I mean, this is probably just my own brain poisoning, but I feel like he doesn't belong in this.
No, he's not.
He's like one echelon above these.
Oh, absolutely.
Guys.
Yeah. I mean, Banderas is as well, I think, because Banderas didn't do a lot of.
He does more of that stuff now. He does.
Yeah, aside from Desperado, I guess you're right. Maybe now
wasn't he in a movie with Stallone?
Assassins.
Yes,
that's a total
stay
tuned.
Stay tuned.
Total stay tuned.
Ridiculous movie.
So I don't know. I want him to be above this level, but I don't think he is. But I do think that Harrison Ford had achieved.
I think they
beyond this level.
I think they all like having this clear. They like being in with these guys, though. I think Harrison Ford and Antonio Banderas and everybody who's involved with this likes the fact that they've done the genre stuff. Yeah. They've roughed it. They've talked with the stuntmen. They have that kind of relationship.
The elder statesman kind of coming in. Apparently, they also approached Clint Eastwood for some role. This seems like it would have been more of his role.
He should have directed it.
Oh, God in heaven, yes. Please.
That is what if you
I'm
want.
having a ball flying this helicopter.
Clint Eastwood, at least, I feel like has more of an action film pedigree with the spaghetti westerns, Dirty Harry versus Harrison Ford, which he still did, I guess, Indiana Jones.
But even the
Jack
action
Ryan
that Ford has participated in largely is way more dominated by the fantastical realm of like Indiana Jones, Star Wars, shit like that.
Or big action movies like Witness. You know what I mean? Which is an action film.
Frantic.
Hollywood Homicide.
Random Hearts. 6 days, 7 nights.
See that now we're getting into the stuff that's closer to what these guys do. It's just because it's Harrison Ford, he can cab it like that. He can ask for $5 extra million.
Gotta have Harrison in the movie, man. I mean, oh my God, Working Girl is amazing. He's amazing in that movie.
Harrison, I love your science fiction movies. Witness was science fiction. Those people aren't around, right?
What planet did that take place?
Harrison, what was that movie, man, where like that little alien sees a murder and like you had to go to like his little weird alien community where they don't believe in electricity? Well, Amish people. Those are is it Pennsylvania, you say?
They were replicants, right?
Or they had to be robots. All right, man. They're not aliens, they're robots.
These guys always fuck around with aliens. Those guys are great.
Every day with this guy. Alien, robot, one or the other.
And Peter Weir thought of that whole thing all by himself, just up in his head like that. I mean, it's amazing. He could do that in the Harry Truman Show. It's amazing.
Dude,
that was great. He was one of the greatest presidents, man. Because that President Harry Truman, he was like, cue the sun.
Dude, I saw a Truman Show scared the shit out of me. I check under my bed every night for a camera. I'm like, no, thank you.
Because you know what? I think that happens to me. I think I've talked to Emmerich a few times, and we're close. He could be jizzing me.
It's happening. It's happening now for Sly. He is in the Truman Show. He's on that reality show.
That's true.
The
That's true.
Family
Yeah.
Stallone.
He
But
finally
like that
did it.
show, like you've seen that.
I've seen every episode.
How far
Proudly.
how far above the level of there's cameras here because my daughters are hot. Does that show actually get? Because that's why it's a show.
Yeah,
right?
no, that's
It's like,
it. That's it. That's
you
the
know
entire
him,
show.
and then also he has like 3 very attractive young daughters.
There's
that's the program.
I think there's like 5 seconds on the set of Tulsa King, and then the rest is like, we got to buy a house in Florida because I'm not letting my daughter move cross country without me being there.
Oh,
What?
man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
weird.
It is weird.
Yeah, my daughter's pretty hot, right? You like my hot daughter, Paramount Plus? Oh, yeah.
We're moving the compound. Baby daughter's got to be on the compound at all times, so the compound moves with the
Dude,
baby
it's
girl.
insane. I think there was one episode where it's just like they were going to, like the family was like going to Philadelphia or something, and one of the daughters was like, well, I moved to Florida and I have like, I'm starting college or whatever. I really can't. No, you got it. You want to be out of the family?
Oh, Jesus H.
And to the point where she actually shows up. She has to go.
Really?
That's how it is with them, man.
That sucks.
When he jingles those keys, you come like a good dog.
Jing-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Just like Wesley did in one of my favorite movies I made, Expendables 3.
Yes.
Dad, could you stop jingling the keys?
Because in this, it's the dog tags that jingle.
Right.
But drummer is like, listen, you fucked. And there's a little. Harrison Ford gives a little more than 0 in this, which was shocking. There's that line where he's like, it's your fuck up, but I'm wearing it. I'm like, oh, that's a Harrison Ford line.
Pretty great.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice hearing him use hard profanity.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's not going to be like, my fucking goddaughter's got me looking for this time travel device, god damn it.
9 years ago, he looks even more frail than he does today almost.
Dude, he does look better now. I don't know what was going on in 2014.
I'm thinking the stem cells, the endocrine, they got it all out
I thought you were
there.
going to say Callista sucking him dry.
Well,
But I also think, like,
I could use a few years off of me too.
I think he gave a shit about Indiana Jones. That's why he went to the gym, probably put on some muscle or whatever.
Right.
Old man muscle.
Old man muscle, absolutely.
But I mean, I think in this movie, he's like, because also very famously, like, it was like a 3 to 4 day window when like Willis pulled out and they needed Harrison Ford. Like, yeah, I'll fucking do it.
But you better work in a joke about me coming on short notice into the picture. Oh, you already did? Excellent. This has definitely got that.
I gotta talk down to Stallone though. That's got to be the key thing here.
He's kind of having a ball talking
yeah.
shit to Sylvester Stallone. You can see this. So his whole thing is like, yes, here's the mission, blah, blah, blah. I'm just as pissed off as you are that this dude turned out to be your ex-buddy. I don't give a shit what his name is. You got to go capture this guy, bring him to The Hague for trial for war crimes. And Stallone's whole thing is, well, I fired my whole team. I need someone to help me get the new team. And we are talking like 25 minutes of this movie is a montage with fucking Stallone and Kelsey Grammer road tripping it around the country to get these new recruits.
But even like, I think Ford is like, you got like, he's like, the time is ticking. And then like, and Stallone's like, man, we got no time. We got to put a team together in no time.
Yes.
In which case, let's go to a fucking coffee shop, have a list, and be like, what does this guy do? Okay, cross him in. Okay.
Oh, I have quite the history of doing business in a coffee shop.
While we're like getting this crew together, when we cut back to Stonebanks,
Yes.
he's just buying art.
It does nothing for the movie aside from like snooty bad guy buy art
Yes.
part
He
of
needs
movie.
to be doing something evil, something
Yes.
sort of like a Mel Gibson figure would do.
Because it's kind of
yelling at a girlfriend.
Yes.
Being
They give
anti-Semitic to the police force.
They give him all of the
Something like that.
because he has all of the like
Because that happened by now, right? Yeah. that
of
happened.
course,
yeah.
Way past.
well past.
Yeah.
But he has all of the social status of an 80s villain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But
true.
you don't see him do all the dastardly shit. Like he's a dude high up in society. He buys paintings that he thinks are shit, but he's willing to drop $3 million on them because his babe of a wife gets excited about it. He's literally got 2 massive, identical Mr. Burns attack dogs at his mansion.
Yes, he
in
needs
Moscow,
to be
where
shit.
he lives.
They need to be set upon Stallone. Oh no,
Yes.
his dogs.
Yep.
Exactly. Use this world you're building instead of just tossing it away, and give Gibson some evil shit to do. Maybe he runs a fundraising organization for the Fraternal Order of the Police or something.
Yeah.
Well, because I think you lose all that stuff with these modern action movies because you are filming like all of these movies, like the final encounter has to take place at a fucking burned out former Yugoslavian tire factory. And like, that's what this is. So it's like, you can't have any of that. If it was a thing where it was like, oh, the raid at his house or whatever,
Or like
then you can have the dogs and the wife,
The
and
palatial
pool.
estate. Yes,
Right.
exactly.
A palatial estate or a high rise. Let's do something different than just the factories.
The
or
bombed out village that we've seen. They filmed Rise of Ultron fucking 2 blocks up the road.
That's right.
Like, so we go one by one very slowly with all of these dudes.
And I couldn't give a fuck about these kids.
We get Glen Powell first. He's the hacker. And there's a not a funny joke, but a kind of annoying one. Like, there's a fat dude behind a monitor, and they're like, and Stallone's like, I don't need an office worker. It's like, oh no, he's doing parkour for some reason.
Right, he's climbing this
jumping
rock.
off this rock base and then using his fucking parachute to land.
That's how badass he is, though, dude, because that's an accident. The parachute is his like safety thing. He's just free climbing like Shatner in the beginning of Star Trek 5. And the rock falls, but he's such a badass that he's got that backup parachute or whatever.
Kelsey Grammer in this movie.
Yes, as
I mean,
Bonaparte, the
he's the
recruiter.
guy.
I cannot imagine. That's to what Eric
This
was
is an
saying.
RNC bet. You know what I mean?
I don't
You
think
can
Nick
get
Cage
anyone.
would have been good in this. Like,
No,
this is not.
no.
It's
No one
below
could've-
him.
This is way below. That Kelsey Grammer is actually exactly who should have been this role if this role was going to exist. Period.
Right.
Well, I think you could do someone else than Kelsey Grammer. I feel like if you're doing this
David
whole,
Hyde Pierce.
no, this
Always go Hyde Pierce over Grammer.
this whole franchise exists to be like, look at all these action stars together. Kelsey Grammer does not fit that mold
But
whatsoever.
he is the part, I think, of the right wing flirt because he does.
Of course.
He does show up in all
But
those.
it's just
movies.
a cheap man's John Voight. Like,
Yes,
just get
exactly.
John Voight or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Literally,
that would
he
make
is-
more sense.
John Voight in Heat is essentially what he's doing here, except for without the character and with all the good detail in Michael
and
Mann's
also,
script.
fucking Mel Gibson's already the right wing flirt. You know,
I mean, I guess so, but
So is Stallone. So
I got
that's-
news for you about a
so
lot.
is every single person in the cast.
essentially all the people. I mean, I don't know what Glen Powell's politics are.
Oh, I bet Ronda Rousey's is terrible.
Well, I mean, Ronda
don't know
Rousey.
that.
I don't know that, but I got some.
You want to
sense.
believe that.
Yeah,
Ronda
no,
Rousey.
until she proves me wrong.
Ronda Rousey. The problem with her in the introduction to this movie is that, like, I don't know if a single shot of anybody here was in the same place. Like they
Yeah,
talk
no.
about
Yes.
that with Marvel movies.
Yeah.
This nightclub scene, like her fighting, they cut
Right.
around it to make it so she doesn't have to do jack shit. Like I didn't really believe any of the
Yeah,
fucking fight was
I
happening.
could do it. I could do it. No problem.
I will say,
You can always do it, Eric.
By the way,
It's right.
no, I just
you
thought
always
of
can do.
someone for Kelsey Grammer, Tom Sizemore.
yeah,
Sure.
Sizemore
Do
was
it.
supposed to be the fucking.
Was he?
He was supposed to be Stonefence.
Really?
Stonebanks.
Oh,
All right, I need a all right, listen. Give me a list of the biggest women punchers in Hollywood. I'm looking for Stonebanks. He's not going to punch a woman in the movie, but I need. Okay, I got Tom Sizemore. Ooh, Mel Gibson. I'm getting tempted by Mel Gibson.
You know, Sean Connery. Could, you know,
Another woman puncher.
Lady Schlap.
It's fucking Stonebanks. You thought I was dead.
Ooh, dude, that would be incredible, right? The gravitas, the fucking James Bond is now getting into the
Yes.
mix.
Yep. That's the line they haven't crossed, and now 2 of them are dead, so you can't.
Right.
But like, and you're not going after
And
Lazenby.
Connery was probably retired by the
Connery
Maybe
was retired at
Pierce.
this
You could
Pierce
probably
would
get
have been,
Pierce in
Pierce
here.
would have been fun in this
Oh,
movie.
Pierce would have been a delight.
Yeah.
And
you
he
could
would
get
do
him
it too.
in.
He's like,
Pierce is the one that would do
dude,
it.
he
A
was that.
sexy, dashing villain.
Yes.
Oh my God!
They already got that, Eric. Mel Gibson's
No,
right
they
there.
don't got it.
He was in one of
They
the
don't
worst
got it.
movies of last year, that Mermaid King movie.
Oh.
Ooh,
What is-
doggy.
wait,
Wait,
what?
pardon me?
He plays the king of a foreign land, and the daughter finds a mermaid.
Oh yes.
And what's
okay.
this called?
I don't even.
Did you see it?
Of course, I watched it. I think I might own it on Amazon Prime.
Oh, one of those like I could watch it now and own it forever pathetically,
Okay.
or I could wait a week and rent it. I've been there.
I wanted to make sure you weren't talking trash based on trailers.
No.
But I'll tell you another thing that I saw this year with Pierce that was quite abysmal is The Outlaws.
I don't know what that is.
It's the guy. What the fuck is that guy's name? Adam Devine from Workaholics.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's him, and like he's gonna marry his lady friend, and then it's like, oh,
They need wedding dates.
no, that's Mike and Dave
Again?
Need Wedding Dates. Terrible movie. Based on a true story of dudes Chris and I know. But no, The Outlaws. So it's like, oh, we're gonna meet her parents finally, and it's Pierce Brosnan, and I forget the woman playing the mother, but they're both like assassin spy things.
God!
And it just turns into this fucking
action
adventure
comedy nonsense.
Yep, it's so awful. And I got to tell you, like Adam Devine in fits and starts, like on Gemstones or whatever,
Sure.
it's totally
Yeah.
fine. I don't have
Yeah.
anything against the dude, but like the movie asks this guy to lead an action comedy,
No.
and oh, absolutely not. He has. This is where I noticed it because I think it was like the longest I've ever seen Adam Devine do anything.
Sure.
This dude has such intense Dan Aykroyd vibes.
Yeah.
It's chilling. Bone chilling
Yeah.
when you watch him in a movie where he's the main character and he's got the same like I'm an adult with big little boy Scout attitude, and that's like the
Right.
Dan Aykroyd vibe.
Yes.
This kid's got that up the ass, and it's really weird.
Make this kid a Ghostbuster. Bump him up, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, he could be fucking Jim Stance.
No.
Absolutely.
No more Ghostbusters, please.
Well, they're coming.
Well,
Please,
tough shit. There's another one.
please,
There's
just
already
Well,
one.
you know what?
coming.
They should be busting Sylvester Stallone, Dolph Lundgren. Let me go down the list.
No, it's only the Expendables that are dead. So
No, but all these people, all these aging action stars should be dead, and they will be soon.
But so Ronda Rousey, the first was this expend a girl? What is it?
that's weird, man.
I didn't think we did expend a girl.
There is that like Expendables.
Expendables.
Expendables, yes, which I
yeah.
did see. Quite terrible.
Right, because Cynthia Rothrock is in there?
Rothrock is definitely in it. She's like one of the leads.
But
It-
that's
she
to
should be
the
here.
point.
Yes.
Fuck Kelsey Grammer. Give me Cynthia Rothrock.
Oh, but a
All
woman
right,
couldn't organize people to be hired for a job.
Let me get you a
Eric.
bunch of guys off this list. It's me, Cynthia Rothrock. Here we go. We're gonna do. He's an explosives expert.
I'm
I'm
into
more
it,
of a
dude.
karate
Yeah.
fighter. You don't want me talking too much. Kind of sound a little bit like this.
No, these guys are pussies.
I mean,
No, you can't
Definitely
trust these
agree.
guys.
This-
Yes, we're meeting at a fight club. Isn't that something?
Oh, that's when he goes to Vegas. That's
yeah.
the funniest part. So like, time is of the essence. Fucking Harrison Ford told us as much. Instead of going to Vegas to find Bonaparte, why don't you just give this guy a call?
Yeah, hey man, why don't you meet me at JFK so we can go to our next flight easier?
Well, that you would not get, and this is throughout even the montages as well. You get butt rock front and just all
Oh
over.
God.
And
Wait, 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 is
Lord, come with me now.
Oh,
You're
you're talking about music, not one of the characters' names. Like there's Toll Road.
Oh,
Yes.
Butt
Butt
Rock.
Rock.
Oh
Butt
my
Rock.
God, they shot Butt Rock.
butt rock.
Oh, he'll live though. Don't worry.
Oh,
about it.
thank God that Buttrock was saved. I lit a candle last night for Buttrock. I
did-
shed a tear for
did
my
the-
good friend Buttrock.
I did the prayer. I came to the hospital every day for dearest Butra.
Wesley Snipes, I think it is very cool you wore such a hip hat to go pay respect to Butt Rock.
Yes, church sent all these flowers for butt rock.
Is butt going to pull through? That's what I want to know, please. Doctor.
Christmas, give it to me straight. Will Butt Rock see through the night?
I don't care if we lost Caesar. What about butt rock?
That fucking Come With Me Now song by Congos. You can't, I mean, terrible song, but perfect for what this should be. Like, you can't start an establishing shot of Las Vegas and make it look exactly like a tourism commercial for Las Vegas.
Yes.
Which is what this is. Like, you hear this fucking terrible song and it's all these shots of the strip or whatever, and it's like, You should see sexy couples throwing dice at the table,
Give me some
jumping
Tom
in
Jones.
fountains.
Come on.
Again, you're filming
yes.
only in Romania, so you're just buying clip packages from other people.
Absolutely.
Right. That's true.
So they go to a nightclub and it's like
in New York City.
okay, they go to a nightclub in New York City. It's like, so where's the guy? There's got to be a guy. Oh, it's a nice, attractive hostess. He's like, look at her, she's the one, and like
she's the bouncer.
yes, and like she does, and I mean, I think that like that's the weird thing. Apparently, Victor Ortiz, who we're gonna meet next, never throws a punch in this movie. They set up Snipes as like a night. They don't give these guys, these actors, I should say, what they do.
Yes.
Why you want to
You
watch
never
them.
see the specialties.
Right,
Except for Ronda Rousey, which is actually a good thing. It's like, oh wow, she's doing her leg grab thing. That's
Tornado leg drop, whatever that
because
thing is.
everybody else, I need I want calling cards so I know what they're doing and who they are.
Yeah.
Steve, you cannot alienate your core audience, and part of your core audience are valor thieves.
Yeah.
So
That's
they
right.
want to be able to say, "I'm a knife expert." No, I can't do anything with the knife.
Yes,
no, not
that's true.
necessarily. Also, I'm a kicking expert. My leg is hurting.
You got to
today.
make
Sorry.
sure that all the dudes that are competitors on that knife show you watch
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
can watch this movie and be like, absolutely.
How are
And-
you
and
doing
then-
with that?
And
Is
then,
that-
meanwhile, they all fucking have to go to the fucking medical tent halfway through.
Oh man, I bet it never got this hot when the Expendables were fighting.
So Steve, how's that been? How's the knife show going?
Is it still on?
It is. I on and off that they
Forged in Fire.
Forged in
That's okay.
Fire. They changed hosts. I was a little
Really?
miffed by it.
Who'd they get in there now? Donnie Jeffcoat?
No, just another big meathead dude. But the last meathead I liked. This meathead not so much. And I think the last meathead might have quit because he might have been a man that might not want the vaccine, possibly.
Oh,
you
okay.
know?
Okay.
sure.
Also, he's wanted for questioning on Jan 6.
I mean, just fucking get that. It seems like David Spade and Jeff Foxworthy will do it for cheap. Just get them in
Oh,
there.
I like that.
You might be smarter than a knife.
You said that's a tang.
But she knocks these dudes out and goes like, oh, she's in. And then we have 4 to 5 jokes like, yeah, why don't you try doing that in a dress? Ha!
Oh, yeah. No, you think she's good now. Watch her fight without the high heels on.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Bonaparte, since you're in this club, you've got to introduce me to Carrie Bradshaw. She is so hot, man. I like those rider broads. I love them.
Yeah, she's not an expendable, but could she spend, baby? She is able to spend.
I couldn't even find her article today. I was looking everywhere for it. I couldn't find. Nobody would help me. Everybody said I was an idiot.
But then just like that, I was talking to her, and could you believe it? She actually dated Stonebanks before me. I don't know how I feel about dating a girl who used to date Stonebanks.
Did you know her friend was almost in the Senate? She's so cool.
Did they have the character run for Senate?
I don't think so.
Because Cynthia Nixon ran for governor.
Well,
I voted for her in that primary.
I was being Stallone.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So then we go to Arizona to get Victor Ortiz at some training facility or whatever. And this is one of the fucking funniest things. I want to get the name right because I was like, I don't know what this is. So they get to this. It's a camp or army base or whatever, and they go to see Victor Ortiz, who's boxing really quickly. That's the only punching you see. He doesn't punch a person, but they walk by. Did you guys notice this? They're walking through the camp or whatever. They walk by this car, and the branding on the car. My eyes have been tuned to them because there's a part where Harrison Ford is in a Ford and blah, blah, blah. So I'd been looking at car makes and whatnot.
he's near a model T1000, no T800. Fuck shit.
They walk by a car, and on the front of it, where you'd see the Toyota logo or whatever, it just says Haval, Haval, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I had the thought, oh, of course, not a second of this movie was filmed in America. And I looked it up. You better believe that's a very popular Chinese automobile right there. That they work on.
Yeah.
Just in the world of this movie is supposed to be at an American military base in Arizona. LOL.
Nice try. And he's set up. Victor Ortiz is set up as a weapons expert, which he doesn't. It's never even so Victor Ortiz, what should we use on this job? All right, I got this gun and that gun and whatever else.
Just one.
You know what? It's the setup. It's like MacGruber. You get all these guys, these amazing experts, and then instead of blowing them up in a van in a hilarious fashion,
better option.
better option. actually has a kill count. And here instead, they just get captured by Stonebanks. It's just like, well, Stonebanks is just that good.
Kellan Lutz is the last one and the most annoying because it's like, oh man, I will be turning this franchise over to you, Mr. Kellan Lutz. Because it's like, I've been there. Oh, let me guess, you lost your friends in the desert and nobody gives a shit. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Well, not Kelsey Grammer because you were on Cheers at that point, right?
But you weren't with us in Nicaragua, man. You were on Cheers at the time.
But you were in a successful TV series. Now, Kellan, what were you in that was successful? I was a glittery vampire in the Twilight movie.
Yeah. So this
I was one of the main.
I was glittery vampire number 5.
I was
you
one of them.
can't pass the torch to nothing. Like at least I know Scott Adkins was in the last movie as a number 2 or
He's
something.
the number 2 to Van Damme.
Right.
And he eats shit in the movie.
But if you're making a movie about passing the torch, pass it to someone who's actually started an action film.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I know they're few and far between now.
Right.
But
I mean, also, what the fuck are you talking about pretending there's passing any torches? That whole notion is just garbage anyway. So like, remove it from these movies at all.
It's
times.
not even. It's barely in the movie. Like, just don't even make him.
It's
the
barely
next.
in the movie, but of course, the fucking 10-minute bar scene at the end. We're gonna see the kids not only get the Expendables tattoos, but they're gonna do karaoke, this, that, and the other thing, and they'll never be heard from again.
Can you imagine you get a new job and you're like, I fucking love this job so much. I'm gonna get a tattoo of the group on my arm, and then it's like, oh what? I'm never going to be called for a job again with these people. Fuck.
Right?
Fuck that.
Is it because I spent my entire first week tied up in some basement? Oh, I guess so.
Just hanging out with Mel Gibson yelling at me.
Well, I mean, that's what the Lord of the Rings folks did, all with the exception of John Rhys Davies.
That's right. He did not get the LOTR tattoo. That's right.
Because he wouldn't go to heaven with it.
That should have told you something right there.
Exactly.
You should have known right there.
Yep. Vigo should have had him get kicked in the face by a horse.
What was that tattoo anyway? Was
I
it
think
like
it's
a
just
big old honking dragon?
No,
or something?
it was elvish.
On their back. Everyone has a big fucking smaug on their back.
They all went out and got smaug on the backs.
We each took a week off.
It was a long time. It was a painful tattoo.
So Ford is like, all right, you're going to be trying him at the Hague with your new team. You go get him. No killing now. This is an Expendables movie. No death.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
It came down from the top brass, PG-13.
It's so funny, this sequence.
You kill anybody, Jack Valenti will have my ass.
Because you see,
I'm wearing it.
You see, like Stallone's like aviation business that he owns or whatever, and maybe that's a cover. But there's like this. This is the Ford car in the parking lot. And it's like late at night, Stallone's got some go bag and he puts it in the car. And then Ford is in the back seat. And I'm like, one, how long was Harrison Ford waiting in this car? But then also he does the whole thing about like no killing, go get him, try him at the Hague, blah, blah, blah. Here's the war crimes folder, picture a bunch of dead kids, have a good night. And it's one of the funniest, most befuddling parts of the movie is Harrison Ford gets out of the car and literally just walks out of the movie. Like you see the establishing shot of where we are. It's the middle of nowhere. It's at night. There's no other cars around. This character literally walks off into the desert.
Mr. Ford, really quick, before you go, one of my favorite sci-fi movies you were ever in, that Regarding Henry. Oh man, when they erase his memory, I had brain damage.
Whatever device they used, man, it was great.
What about Sabrina? She was an android, right? It was about you plowing an android.
I loved Annette Bening as your alien translator in Regarding Henry. She was amazing in that picture.
Oh man, there was that crazy sci-fi movie What Lies Beneath, where you may or may not have drowned your robot wife in a bathtub.
Oh, and God, who could forget Morning Glory? Oh, you forgot Morning Glory. That's okay. Okay. Rachel McAdams, no. Okay, that's okay.
And
that's
in American
interesting.
Graffiti, you turned into that car, right? Like a transformer. You were like turning into a race car.
Like all those boys were really scared to like go to Vietnam or whatever, but then you were just there as a transformer.
Yeah, cool as a cucumber because you could just turn into a car, drive away.
You can turn into a car. Then Wolfman Jack's not giving you any trouble in that movie.
No, yeah, the sun's going down. Why do you ask?
So they go. Well, when we get here, why don't we just steal a scene directly from Ronan real quick? No,
Sure.
You cool? Everybody cool? Still?
Well, look, hey, you got to take a break from just straight ripping Mission Impossible movies.
Yes.
Like just
especially Mission Impossible 3, oddly enough, because there's two parts in this movie that I was like, where have I seen this recently? Both of them are MI3. There's a part.
the bridge for the Mel Gibson breakout is
yes,
exactly.
That's the bigger one. But then there's also the part where they're in the van. It's when they're breaking into the facility. I think when they start
the toilet, the sewer thing.
Yes, they go under the through the
Yeah.
van into the sewer while the van is hovered over the manhole.
Yeah.
Someone who was writing this movie had fucking Mission Impossible 3 on that day.
I mean, Tom Cruise has a team. I should have a team. He gets some new people occasionally. What's wrong with me having a couple? Yeah, I know Ronda can't act. Okay. Look, it's just nice to include people. Okay, Cynthia wouldn't fucking return my calls.
But yeah, it's the scene in front of the hotel where we cause a disturbance and then we see everybody react with their guns and we're taking photos of them.
Oh yes, that's right. Because this is where there's a little bit of like
reconnaissance.
It's reconnaissance, which like this is for a different movie. Yep, kind of. But like Ronda walks out in like a sexy dress or whatever and like makes some dudes turn. So then it's like we can get pictures. And then like Victor Ortiz like fakes hitting her with a car or whatever.
Yes.
And they're like, oh that was a good performance there. And she's like, yeah, that was a little too close. I would have had to kick his ass. You're just like, whatever you say, Ronda.
Yes,
Rousey.
Luna. Get in the car.
Luna, that's what it is.
Get in the car. Thank you, Luna.
And whatever. And then it is kind of amazing that we go back and like, well, what's the plan? Like, well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a bunch of guns and we're gonna shoot everybody. And then they're like, well, what if we made an actual plan? And they do.
And this is where like this is the third one of these. All right.
Yeah.
No one.
Number 3.
And I mean absolutely no one.
No one.
In the theater or VOD or the divorced dads buying this on standard def DVD for $3 at Walmart. Oh man, I ranted so much about that I totally lost.
It's all set up.
I remembered it. Because they have the line where she's like, yeah, that would be a good plan if this was 1985. And I'm like, everybody watching this movie understands what the thesis of these films are, which is watch all these dudes that used to do stuff 30 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah. Not like, do stuff now.
But it's just like, I don't need that kind of shit. It's like, this is the third one. If you have that joke in the first one, fine. But literally everyone with eyes on this movie is in on the joke.
Well, then you're alienating your divorced dads. Like, that's not fucking funny.
Yeah.
I was great in 85. I'm great now.
Yeah, they're trying to like give these characters literally anything and they just can't do it.
It's just a bit like what they wind up doing is like insulting what people like about these movies. So it's like, you're making me hate these kids.
Yes.
And I wish for death upon them.
Well, because that's another part of your audience is the people who hate fucking the young. They fucking hate them.
Exactly. And it's just like, oh man, I'm going to have to clean up after the kids again. Should have seen this coming. That's the thesis of this.
Why are you replacing all my Expendables with people in their 20s and 30s? I was replacing people in their 20s and 30s.
That Ronda Rousey, she shouldn't be making jokes like that to Sylvester Stallone. She should be asking him out for a nice steak dinner and then let him pay, but then secretly pay for him because he doesn't have enough money because that bitch wanted alimony again.
Oh no, she wants to have sex with a helmet doing the weird, Demolition Man style because she's young.
Well, the funny thing is Glen Powell totally hatches his plan. He's like, all right, I'm going to hack this fucking building. And you guys are going to go in there.
Hack the building.
Yeah, hack the building. Start with the building. Then you can move on to hacking the planet. But right now, we're going to hack the building. And it's like, it's a crazy, like, smart extraction thing where it's like Glen Powell's hacking all these door locks. So he's literally like forcing Mel Gibson to walk a certain way on the floor plan. They get him in the helicopter and they get out of there. And when things go tits up, it's because of Sylvester Stallone's character.
But you danced over one very important part. Robert Davi.
Oh, right. This is his scene. Yes.
Hey, here's another right-wing flirt.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy's
like-
just psychotic.
World-renowned psychotic vlogger.
Yeah,
Yes.
you got to check
yeah.
out his stuff. I used to watch
He's
it.
probably got some killer stuff on the Biden impeachment inquiry. I guarantee
I
it.
can't wait to see all that data.
If
Oh
you
man,
wanna
the
see-
dash cam monologues that he's been given
Yeah.
about Biden and Hunter Biden specifically.
Oh my God! Right, because he directed Hunter Biden's laptop, the movie. Right?
He knows
Yes.
more about Hunter Biden's dick than I know about my own. I
Yeah.
guarantee
Yeah.
it. I guarantee
100%.
it. Well, if you
And
look
has
at
never seen
if
it.
you look at the vein there, that's clearly Hunter Biden.
He's now, this is because I feel like he's in this, again, tickle the right-wing nutsack and whatever, but Rage Serbeja had better things to do.
Right,
Because
yeah.
this is, it's like, the big dealer guy that, Mel's character is meeting or whatever.
I
at
believe
this-
he's even mentioned to be Albanian. It's an Albanian.
He is.
Yeah,
Oh,
Albanian
you're right.
mob,
You're
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And Rage Serbeja was just fucking busy that day, I guess, because here's Davi doing this accent.
But I mean, like,
yes.
if you're doing that, I think you even said this earlier, Eric. He's got to be the general in
Yes.
Esmanistan.
Yep.
If you're
Yes.
fucking waking up Robert Davi, he's at least a face that I remember from things. And then maybe he has like two scenes. Maybe he tries to torture somebody and then he gets killed. And that's right.
I want to be clear on this. I don't want any more Robert Davi. I didn't want the first helping you
Oh,
gave me. I prefer
How about
not
this,
that the
Chris?
second.
I just thought of another right-wing flirt that would fit
Ooh.
right in here.
What's that?
Dennis Miller.
Ooh.
No, but the good
that
thing.
would also work.
John Woods.
Ooh, James
James Woods. My
100.
God.
Oh man,
I'm
the
all,
fucking
I can't do first names today.
in terms
James
of,
Woods, yes.
of star power. James Woods just blows Robert Davi off
Yes,
the fucking
executive
board.
producer of Oppenheimer.
Yes,
Yes.
it's amazing.
Was he really?
Yes,
He has some weird
yes.
thing with the right. I think he
got
bought the
the book
American
early.
Prometheus rights very early.
Interesting.
That's always the smart thing. Like a fucking a biography comes out, you buy that motherfucker.
Yep.
And then you make the money later.
That's
And
right.
Now,
You
now
make the money.
I'm weirdly winning an Oscar probably.
Yeah.
because
Oh,
you know
man.
he wasn't allowed anywhere near that.
Oh, of
fucking
course
set.
not.
That's oh man. That might cost them the Oscar. To avoid having James Woods up on that stage at the end of
Yeah,
that night,
yeah.
they might actually fucking call it.
Well, I was going to get up there and I was going to insanely pontificate, but they don't want me to be there anymore. So I guess that's their fucking problem.
Why can't I record myself while I'm up there? Why
well-
can't I have the little camera in front of me while
He
I
would
make this
get
speech?
up there and he would just do what Mel Gibson did when he was pulled over. It would be the exact same speech.
But yeah, so Robert Davi has like 3 lines. And
We also
Gorin Vata, by the way, he is doing Draculian accent.
I'd buy him more of a Dracula than a man of power. We also missed Antonio Banderas shows up
right.
during
Yes.
the
Montage.
During the montage, we first are introduced to it was Philippe Silva.
That's what.
Something like
That's
that.
this
His fake
fake
name.
name.
Galgo.
Galgo's
yeah,
the
okay.
real name, and he's having a great time, and he's good in this movie, and he's fun in this movie.
because he's an actual actor and
Yes.
he knows. He actually it's like he has the one thing none of these dudes have, which is like it's actually if you're like lower status in the scene, that creates tension and people will like your performance. Like you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
But wait, I gotta be Mr. Alpha Dick in every fucking scene.
If someone's lower status in a scene with me, how we gonna be wiggling, waggling dicks?
that's right, it's me, also Dolph Lundgren. I shall also be alpha status. Yeah, that's right. I'll be alpha status as well.
Yep.
No one's gonna kill me.
Hi, I heard you're handing out alpha statuses.
So we'll all be in the same scene, all of us the exact same status, the exact same temperature,
Yeah.
saying cool things.
That's right. Then none of us can die.
So yeah, Sly, in order for me to participate in the movie, I'm registering alpha status for me, Whiskey, Lulu, and Schnelly. That's right.
And don't forget Jet Li, my other pet.
Oh, dude, he
What
is
is going
keeping
on?
this guy in a box somewhere. I don't know what is going on with that part.
I like that part. I'd like to. I'd press to watch more. By the way.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, but no. Banderas as an actor is like, I would be the funny one. I would be more of a
Yes.
clown for everyone.
Yes, exactly.
And that makes
it works.
It does. It actually. It's a breath of fresh air
And
because he's
energetic.
the one that.
He's more
Yes.
energetic than the young people in
He's
this
completely
movie.
unconcerned with coming off as cool in this
Yes.
movie. And
Yes.
in a movie where literally 99% of the cast is obsessed with looking great and awesome and being the best,
Yes.
that's his philosophy on the character is exactly why he's the best part of the movie.
I was stationed in Benghazi.
Oh, dude, we do get that though.
Hillary Clinton is the only real evil left. And yes, I used Ambassador Stevens as a bullet shield.
It sucks that they just explicitly just do it.
They
They
say,
just do it.
They do.
Did Davi do a pass on this script?
I want the fucking names. I wanted to just do it.
As my good friend Charlie Daniels once said, Benghazi ain't going away.
The devil went down to Benghazi.
Yeah, I was the only survivor. And how I did that is I took part in the raid. I pretended.
I killed the guy from The Office, and then actually the other guy from The Office.
Dude, do you know? Did everybody catch it?
No, what?
I don't know.
God.
I didn't see that.
Do you know?
Benghazi
No.
movie.
In the Benghazi, when he is admitting to the Benghazi, he names the guys he was in Benghazi with.
Oh yes.
Did everybody?
Oh, I know one of them.
Mingo.
One of his dudes is Mingo.
Named Mingo.
Oh man, Mingo lost his life in Benghazi. That's terrible.
Oh no!
Oh, hey Alfred, I got some terrible news. Mingo's dead.
So when I say, "Oh, Mingo," it's in his honor.
And you can't even argue that it's just a coincidence because one of the things that they have Banderas explicitly say
argue it.
is that the attack happened and help took so long.
Yes.
And you're like right there. You're like, oh, I know what
And
you're
I like
doing.
Stallone's like, yeah, I was listening on the radio here and you get all fucked up. I wasn't coming though.
How was John Krasinski in there? Was he helping you out or what?
I gotta believe. I mean, I know that they wasted millions of dollars on the trial. We should have another one because that one will have the real facts.
That, you know what, the first one, yeah, I get it. But the second one, the facts would definitely be there, man. Smoking guns out the ass.
That's right, because Benghazi ain't going away.
I would love, like, if Banderas is reading that, reading the script, and he just looks up and he's like, you guys have a real problem with that for some reason. Why are you so hung up on the Benghazi?
It's funny that Benghazi never went away, but you know who did? Charlie Daniels.
Oh, the devil finally took that guy with him, dude.
Yeah. He's playing a flute or whatever the fuck.
But
flute, fiddle.
Fiddle.
This is the season of my cognitive decline.
Dude, speaking of sundown, dude.
Dude, I've got a lot going on, and it ain't good.
We gotta start recording more during the day, dude. After 3 p.m., you're fucking toast.
Yeah, dude, it's done.
They put Gibson in a van, and this is when he really starts monologuing.
Right.
I would say too much.
Oh, would you now?
And it's just like about the nature of evil and blah blah blah.
Oh, boy.
Like, how many people did you kill today, James? Sorry, I was watching Golden. I was right. How many people did you kill today, Barney?
Well, I feel like this is also why. I feel like Mel Gibson got in his head that like he was going to make a statement with this.
Sure, yeah.
I think that's why he's also doing that art scene rather than just being like, here, execute some guy that Stallone knows or something to actually get you. Because it is for all of this shit. Every monologue he has from here on out sounds like it was lifted from some letter that he sent to all these people he felt jilted by after the call came out. Like the AMPAS guys, like all these fucking letters that he's like, I have these, I'm going to send them. And his manager's like, absolutely not. I have S. Craig Zoller on the phone. He's going to give you a picture. Come on, don't do this to me.
Dude, he's saying all that shit about like, you know, how many guys have you lost over the year, Barney, this, that, the other thing. And he's like, oh, now I see you got these new kids here. They're the deletables. And I'm like, will you please give it a rest?
He says the term meat chest.
I'm going to no meat shirt.
Meat shirt. I'll open your meat shirt and take your heart out and show it to you. Yeah.
Your meat shirt.
That's
your
something.
Meat shirt.
I mean, I guess if you've killed like hundreds of people, everyone's wearing meat shirts and meat pants,
meat jackets.
I gotta go meat shirt shopping.
This is a meat knit hat, you know.
And
I poop out of my meat pants.
Would you wear? No, seriously. Would you wear another human's flesh, like in pants or shirt or otherwise?
This sounds like you're saying yes, and you just want to see if one of us is with you.
Here's the one time I would do.
Okay. All right, here we go.
One time.
Yes.
All right.
I have been kidnapped by the Sawyer family in rural Texas. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That happens more than you think.
And I realize that like they're having a big like weirdo party that night where they'll all be wearing skin suits.
Got it.
Sure.
In order to facilitate my potential escape from the evil house, I would
point.
don a meat suit
And to
get
fit
out.
in, I mean, you don't want to look like an asshole. Like,
No,
it's like,
I
if
want
you
to be
go
on theme to a party.
Yeah, so if you go to a white party, you're not going to wear red
Okay,
pants.
now
No.
faux pas for wearing a leather face, like wearing a human face, or is that's taken?
Yes, I know that's your thing.
taken.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
taken.
Dude, you walk out of the dressing room and you've got the whole meat suit on, but then you also got the mask on and they're all looking like, what the fuck? What the, that's Leather's thing. We don't do that. Yeah, I'm wearing an old man's chest as a vest, but Leather is the only one that
Right.
wears the mask.
You stole his whole fucking flow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did it right in front of him.
Great. Now he's crying.
Why couldn't you just take a tongue and turn it into a tie? A tongue tie.
Oh, yeah. Good Colombian necktie, dude.
That'd be
Absolutely.
nice. You
But-
know?
Something.
It's a GPS tracker. Time to rip off Mission Impossible 3.
Ew, I didn't even think about looking on his person for something.
Exactly. Glen Powell plans and executes this fucking extraction. They get him. Ronda Rousey fucking zaps him in the face with a stun gun, which is great. All the kids do it perfectly, and then it's like, oh man, what's that beeping sound? Is the toast done? GPS tracker.
I always smell burning toast for all sorts of reasons.
And wouldn't you know it? Here's a helicopter that fucking launches a missile at this van, and it flips over on a bridge. How dare you?
Yep. And what do you know it? The force of the explosion sends, what's his name? Barney Rubble?
Barney Ross.
Barney Ross.
Barney Ross.
Might as well be Barney Rubble.
Sly
He's just as
Stallone.
intelligent.
Barney Frank or
Barney Frank goes flying into the river, nipples protruding, very disrespectful. Yeah. And I mean, and then Stallone, obviously, God on earth,
Sure.
walks out of the water, instantly kills a bunch of
Dude,
guys.
he does the gunslinger. I'm hitting the,
the
hammer of the
It's
gun.
kind
there.
of cool. I always wanted to do that to a couple of guys.
One of my favorite parts of this movie, I think it's happening kind of around now, which is the other Expendables who've been fired, all trying to like, I guess like the idea of like, they need male friendships, but don't know how to like Randy Couture at this bar watching this Cialis commercial across the way of these dudes like cheering or whatever. Like, dude, just join a fucking fantasy football league. You don't need to murder anybody.
But do that, Randy Couture here, can you kill people in a fantasy football? Because that's what makes me want to live life is the murder of other people.
There's
Wesley's doing like a Castaway riff where
Yep, he's definitely sleeping on the floor. He's got a shitty motel and he's not in the bed.
Because they just leave them, right? Like Barney Rubble or whatever his name is gets on a plane and goes back home.
Because
They
they're
show
fired.
They show up at the.
I don't want to hurt my friends. Voldemort's gonna get them. If I let them come with me, Voldemort's gonna get them.
They show up at the tarmac or whatever, like when the mission's gonna go, and it's kind of like
That's later. That's when he goes back.
No, it's no. It's before the kids get kidnapped. It's before they even go get Mel.
Right. Jesus Christ.
They're getting ready to go out, and all the old timers. Yeah, all the old timers show up, and they're just like little puppy dogs. Just like, can we please go on the mission? And there's like some dick waggling here between like the old and the young, but then like Stallone literally just leaves them there at that point. And yeah, then we do get this. I'm trying to think. Lloyd Christmas or whatever, Mr. Christmas, Lee Christmas. He's watching TV, and like he gets so mad. I'm gonna throw my knife at the TV. That's how upset I am.
I don't even know what Dolph Lundgren's doing. Just sleeping in a hyperbaric chamber, I guess.
Hey, did you know this guy has a PhD? It's fucking weird, man. This guy is just
Dolph. He's not in the movie.
He's just not in the movie.
Barely not.
He's not in the movie.
He has a sore loser T-shirt. That's the most. That's the one thing I remember about his character.
It'd be cool if he died in a heroic blaze of gunfire. Then you know what I mean? Like it just that would be something.
Anything would be something.
But so now, Barney goes back to America, and then Harrison Ford's like, "Man, why do I keep hiring you?"
I mean, I'm the CIA. Don't you think I got better resources than this? Guess not.
I gotta kill another president
All
tomorrow.
right, let me ask you something. The Mosquito Coast, those things. They're aliens, aren't they?
Those are pretty big, scary mosquitoes.
Yeah. They were like 8 feet tall, right?
Did you watch the movie?
No, it was you. You were from Buenos Aires, and the bugs were attacking.
I mean, I thought it was one of the greatest heroic performances I've ever seen. I mean, you're supposed to be on his side the whole time. I agree with you. I think he's a good, smart guy.
I also love the conversation where you were a guy briefly in there, but that movie's about listening to the robots talk.
It's all these robots, man. You're catching them on an answering machine tape or something, and then you're working for Robert Duvall in that movie, and I'm pretty sure he was a robot too.
I really loved your movie. I believe it was Clear and Present Danger, wherein Ireland in a sci-fi future tears itself apart. That is, I mean, wow.
But I also love that other movie, Patriot Games, about the drug cartels. It was phenomenal.
Both of those movies, your wife, who was maybe an alien, is giving you shit about having a dangerous job.
Oh my God. What is it to be married to Ann Archer? Is it nice you go home happy? Callista who?
Is she an alien in real life?
All redheads are aliens, right? That's what I assume. Including the madman lady.
The idea of Ireland against Ireland kept me up at night.
It was post-apocalypse. They had laser guns.
Can you imagine if Ireland was ripped apart like that in real life? That would be so fucked up.
Or even existed at all. Whoa.
So, yeah, now it's like, I'm going to go back alone. I'm going to get them all alone because I told my oldest friends to go fuck themselves. And you're like, all right. And then as he's like getting ready to do this,
he's in the cockpit singing, my friends just share you pray. They can't kill anybody, but they want to now.
And this is... Oh, excellent. Can't wait for your album. This is where Banderas comes back and he's like, you have no one here. I am the only real expendable left. Like,
he's basically playing a human version of the fucking cat.
He is. And I just, having watched Puss in Boots 2 recently, I was like, yeah, this is the same thing. Because I think what it is this is just what it sounds like when Antonio Banderas acts with like energy and enthusiasm and little goofiness.
Right. You know what? And that's a great point. Were it not for the accent, Sylvester Stallone, best pick for live action Shrek.
Oh, definitely.
You get rid of the accent.
Sure.
You want somebody to sound like an actual honest to God ogre. Stallone's your man. He's got the voice for it.
Could you get him in the makeup and everything and then just have Mike Myers dub it?
Ooh, maybe.
And it's like, physical performance by Sylvester Stallone, voiced by Mike Myers.
Hey, mesh the thing.
Hey,
like
Toll House. Or whatever.
I love your cookies.
By the way, just stopping some tweets. We did mix up Clear and Present Danger and Patriot Games.
I was trying to make a joke of that.
It's the other way.
That's right.
The IRA is in Patriot Games and the Colombian is the
We're mixing up a lot of stuff today.
Okay.
Folks at home, this is not a thing that you should be learning from.
Harrison, it's crazy, man. I saw a movie you did one time. 0 aliens in it. Dude, that Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, not a single alien among them.
There's the first one, huh?
Jesus effing Christ, this guy. God damn it, Callista really needed the new fucking pool this summer. I gotta do goddamn Expendables 3.
You get stoned and tricked by David Blaine, and now all of a sudden you're in the Expendables 3. That is one of the best clips of the fucking
I know.
Get the fuck out of my house.
He's really impressed with it.
He's so stoned in that fucking scene.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like they just took down a ton of just some really just the stickiest icky dude. And then it's like, why don't I show you a magic trick?
Jesus fucking Christ, he just bent that fucking quarter.
Callista, call the police. We got to kill a wizard in the house.
I can't imagine Rob Schneider stuck with this guy through all of Judge Dredd. I would have left. God, I'm going to call Rob when I get home.
Oh,
Good
my
buddy,
God.
Rob. Speaking of flirting with the right.
And speaking of Judge Dredd, we got a call back to that at the end.
We do.
Yeah,
we got callbacks to so many. So, like, whatever, long story short,
things blow up.
But Banderas, like,
excellent.
For like 10 minutes while he's fixing the plane, tells him this whole story, which he does involve bingo, which is apparently the story of Benghazi. And just when he's about
real
to
story, Steve.
Just about when he's about to fly out, these pathetic losers come back again, and they're like,
producers.
It's like, oh yeah. This time it's more heroic. It's like, heard you need some help, but it's like, whatever.
Dude, Christmas is like, we're the only ones crazy enough to come help you out with this mess.
That's how it went, right?
Close enough.
It almost sounded like the call to prayer. Holy shit.
That was the Friends theme song, right?
Yes.
All right, good. I was like trying to get the pitch, and it was correct. Sylvester Stallone sings theme songs such as the Friends song or Whatever happened to Big Man the Paper Boy, EBTB.
You're
Yeah, it's the theme song to ER.
Standing tall on a wing of vibes.
Everybody wants to be glad with me.
We kept it burning. We got yourself a gun. Yeah. Got yourself a gun.
Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na.
Dude, I'm calling up this number and I'm getting that CD.
Time Life presents.
I would 100% buy this on the 2 compact disc set that you're getting for it. Absolutely.
You could buy the 5-disc box set that he recorded.
Roll it. Keep them me. But hey.
Cause she is painless. She is a baby changes.
Doing the lyrics for that one, which is great.
Featuring Dana Carvey. I'm doing the singing the theme song to Saturday Night Live.
Musical guest.
Me.
But yeah, so they go, and I mean, this is when the wheels fall off the movie, essentially,
Yes,
like
big time.
because
this whole what should be the grand climax of this movie is a big wet fart.
because
Yes.
we go to Asmenistan, which we've said is a fake place, and
And this also, we're just doing, it's Commando here. Because we're doing,
Oh, excellent.
we're doing Commando because it's a faceless army that gets
Yeah.
easily dispatched over a series of, this is like 30 minutes of nonsense.
Arnold, did you catch Arnold's quick commando ref?
No, I don't think I did.
It's Stallone says something at the end of the movie like, "Oh, I thought you were getting out of this, man," or whatever, and he goes, "I lied," which is the remember when I said that was going to kill you last? I lied.
I did catch
because also by the way, Drummer and Trench bring along Jet Li because they're going to be the backup, and they're going to be the fun.
Right. So you actually have Harrison Ford flying a helicopter, not actually flying a helicopter, and he's all dressed up in a flight suit, and he's like, "Whoa, I'm having fun,"
which is hilarious because I completely misremembered this part as Kelsey Grammer flying the helicopter.
Yeah, well, that would make sense. I mean, there's no fewer than 13 to 14 good guys at this point.
Yeah, it's really tough to keep track of it all.
But you do need Jet Li in there because he's known for firing guns.
Exactly. Like that's
Firing guns all the way.
Sure, yep.
That's what he's good
I
at.
can't get this guy doing a fucking spin kick. Like that's what I
drop
want.
Drop
yeah.
him down a vent in one of these buildings, and he can go kill everyone.
Yeah.
Like they at least know enough in that last movie to have JCVD do a split.
Yes.
And he does the things you expect JCVD to do in these movies.
You cannot, you cannot compare it. Simon West, the man made Con Air for crying out loud.
You're right.
Patrick Hughes made garbage and shit and garbage.
Oh, I saw that.
And it's a beautiful trilogy.
Because it's literally just CGI. It's kind of hilarious. They're all tied up in a build. All the young kids are tied up in a building,
which is a burned out casino, by the way. So we're really switching it up.
Yeah.
So they rescue the kids. Mel Gibson's like, "You fell into my trap. That's gonna explode in 45 seconds."
Glen Powell, why don't you touch this computer for 30 seconds and then it will turn on?
And the greatest thing is like, oh wow, now I just bought us 45 minutes. First things first. get out of that building. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just, let's have the fight in the next building over.
Exactly. Listen, we're in a fake ex-Soviet bloc country. There's plenty of burned out shit we can have shootouts in.
Yeah. Because people leave the building and then go back into it. I'm like, no. Everyone out of the building.
It gets so boring around here, honestly. And you'd think that shooting shit forever would be interesting, but that PG-13 rating devolves it into nothingness.
The body count is really high. I think it's like 300 people die in this movie, but you could not give a shit.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if I don't see like some kind of reaction, like I have, not just they stop moving, like that. Just it doesn't do the same thing.
Yeah.
Monsieur, familiar friends, when you surround the band. Flintstones, me the Flintstones, they're my family.
Fuck, I forgot how the step-by-step theme song goes.
Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for me. Land spreading so far wide. Keep it high and give me that countryside.
I would, again, buy both of those CDs in the set. Absolutely.
Now that no one's listening.
Now we can just keep doing this.
Yes, we can keep going.
La, 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 la. Here, it's instrumental when I do all the Star Trek theme songs. Come on down to Shopperk and meet your fisherman.
That was a cartoon.
Not just a movie. I like the movie too.
Yeah, but this cartoon was about the real guy.
Not the fake guys from that movie, man. The cartoon was a real story.
And we might as well keep talking because everyone's just getting shot in the head.
Nothing happens. Literally nothing.
Gibson kills the general.
Yeah, that's kind of something. Like Mel Gibson gets pissed. He's like, "How do you not kill these guys?" And he starts shooting people at his.
That's a pretty
command
great
center.
Yeah, it's like, oh, here he is in the last 25 minutes of this movie, truly doing a villainous act on the screen.
Yes,
right.
And it's kind of great. It's very jarring because nothing exciting has really happened in the movie for a while, and it's just that oh, is this how you kill a guy? Bam. Oh, maybe this is how you do it. Bam. And you're like, all right, that's something.
An international arms dealer commanding a foreign army is an interesting concept. That's all you get of it is that moment.
And then you know what he does? He drives right into a building that's about to fucking blow up. He's like, I'll do it myself. And why don't you meet him outside? Be like, come on, coward, let's fight. Outside of that building's gonna explode. So
we'll fight, just in the next one over. This is an abandoned casino. We're gonna fight over in the abandoned hotel. That's exactly what we're gonna do.
And then, I mean, the big it's Gibson versus Stallone in the pool area of this. I don't even know where this is.
This is
building.
At least a fight that has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
That's
I can
true.
see what's happening, as opposed to just people headshotting each other.
Although Mel Gibson in his head must have been like, you're going to be beat up by Sylvester Stallone. You're going to get killed by Sylvester Stallone.
Pissed him off.
You got to keep it. You're making Hacksaw Ridge.
Yes.
Just keep it in your brain. You're going to make that movie. They're going to accept you again. And they did.
Oh, yeah. That was that and he were nominated hardcore. So sorry, sugar tits and Jews everywhere.
Right.
That's nice. I like that.
Forgot about Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah.
Arnold twice in this movie. And this is how you know it's an abysmal script with an editor who needed to be reined in. Twice in this movie does he do a get to the chopper reference.
It's insane that they do that twice.
The
first time is polite laughter. He
did the thing.
The second time is dude, get me the fuck out of here.
Especially because in the last movie, he definitely has the I told you I'd be back. And it's at this point, again, we're all seasoned viewers of this franchise watching it. We get it. And it's kind of better if Trench is just a character in this movie and not an Arnold meme.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
But it's all memes. It's memes all the way down. Even I think if you really wanted to do it, if you could go through this whole movie and figure out every single major scene and set piece is lifted directly from another movie.
Sure.
Not necessarily better, but some other movie. And this end scene where
Probably
Barney
better though.
probably better.
Probably kind of have to be better. Yeah.
I mean, probably. But like this last scene, and this is definitely a better movie that we were just talking about. When Harrison Ford is at the top and they're all getting into the helicopter, it's just, everybody has found their way to the top of this building that's about to explode.
Oh, yeah.
Rather than somewhere else. But whatever. Whatever. You do what you want. So they all get on it and like they're like, Harrison Ford, you have to wait for fucking Barney.
Yeah.
This is literally how Harrison Ford escapes the Colombians in Clear and Present Danger.
Oh, shit.
The drunk pilot was like, I gotta go.
Yes.
I gotta go.
Oh, you're right.
And he's like, no,
fuck.
he's down there. He's down there.
Oh,
Go back.
wow. I forgot that,
And,
too.
and it's the exact same thing.
To that, I'll just say...
Love and married, love and married.
Law and order.
Oh man, and yeah, they have this fight, and it's like we got to do the throw the guns down. We're just gonna fight each other, and then Stallone just fucking shoots the shit out of him.
Well, to be fair, he's like, Mel Gibson asked a very pointed question because, like, what about the Hague?
Oh, sure.
I am the Hague.
Oh, yes.
That got a laugh from me last night.
I got a big laugh out of me. That is just stupid. I kind of like this fight and that ending to it.
Yes,
I know it's really tongue in cheek,
it's-
but at least it's not referencing Get to the Chopper twice.
You're right.
It's specific. It looks like something.
Yes.
I can, and it's actually like something like the 14-year-old boy in me wanted to see.
stars.
Cool. Stallone versus Mel Gibson fighting each other. Like paying that off even a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and in a way that is actually conceivable is actually interesting.
Yep. No, totally.
Why, Barney? Why did you kill Stonebanks? I gotta keep the devil way down in the hole.
I'm learning I really don't know many theme songs.
Watch The Wire. It's fantastic.
So that's pretty much it. We're back at Rusty's. All the kids got the tattoos for a job they're never going to have again, which is fantastic. We've made up. Everybody's just happy to be there. There's a little bit of a Christmas and Doc pissing contest with throwing knives at a dark
This is
horse.
Welcome back to the movie, Wesley Snipes.
Seriously.
This is like 15 minutes. It's a long
It's
grab
long.
ass sequence.
It really
long.
is.
We're padding shit, man.
Because we have to like make everything back to the way it was like at the start of the movie.
Yes.
So we got to make sure like, oh, hey, you cool, man? Hey, Toll Road, you cool, man? Yeah. Oh, Dolph Lundgren, you cool, man? Like everybody's got to be cool.
You know,
sorry, Toll Road. There was 3 pages of script that we threw in the garbage. You had a lot of stuff to do, but
Now, did everybody get to go around the corpse and sniff in the essence after we stabbed them a bunch of times?
there should have been more pages thrown out. This movie's 2 hours and 6 minutes or
It's
something.
a lot.
Longer than Star Wars. 90 minutes flat?
Maybe.
Even with it being so dull and just like the buildings just fall apart and ass man is stand at the end and it's just stupid and boring.
Yeah.
90 minutes flat in and out, I might have fucking had a good time.
yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with that.
it's a
maybe.
total slog. It is the longest of these so far. I don't have the runtime on the 4th one just yet. Oh, and by the way, Hail Caesar totally alive and back at the bar.
he's
So
fine.
that's
Of course.
glad he pulled out of that
Well,
coma
it's
or
amazing
whatever.
because they're all like to Caesar, like kind of like, and then he's just like, yeah, to me. I'm like, get the fuck out of the movie, dude. You're dead.
Yep. Oh, and don't worry, he gives Stallone the fucking ring back.
The worst part of this whole thing, because there's a couple. The kids are talking for a bit. There's 2 worst parts. One, Ronda Rousey, because Stallone's like, if you were 30 years younger,
Of course. Yeah.
He's like, I'd be scared of you.
It's just my penis doesn't work. I don't know how to say it. It's just it hasn't been working for a while.
It literally can't. That's one muscle that's atrophied. I guarantee you. Those testicles are fucking
Long
like
gone.
microscopic.
They retired to Florida before he did.
and Kellan Lutz, who I could not pick out of a fucking lineup,
No.
goes up to Stallone and is like, so when do I get to lead this outfit?
Sure.
I'm like, who are you?
Totally, man. It is just abysmal. I always hate that, like, we're making you the next, because I think that happens well, they sort of do it with that Hemsworth character, but then the dude winds up getting murdered, so it's fine because the movie has stakes there. But there is a similar, like, at the start of part 2 where it's like, yeah, this is the new kid, man. You got to watch out for the new kid on the block. He's going to have my job someday.
But what, you're not going to call them the expendable, the new guyables. Like, that's all it's going to, it's
the replenishables.
Yes, there you go.
The fucking recyclables, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the end of this very disappointing movie. Go around the horn here for final thoughts. Eric Siska.
Yeah, it's not a recommend. It is the worst of these. And I'm fine with those first 2. It's just the PG-13, you feel it hard.
Yeah.
This plot is stupid. It's just, it's paper thin. And just having these kids and doing nothing with it's fuck this movie.
There you go. Chris Cabin.
Yeah, generally speaking, fuck this movie. I don't see much to like here other than having Wesley Snipes, Mel Gibson, and Antonio Banderas show off some star wattage, like to really be able to do it still. Like, that's nice to know. But other than that, I don't see anything worthwhile here. I mean, it's Patrick fucking Hughes, guys. I mean, like, if you've seen The Hitman's Bodyguard, that is such a better movie than this. And that is a horrible movie.
I saw about an hour of it and I turned it off.
I will say,
horrid.
I am excited for the 4th one because I'm a sucker.
Right. I mean, I'll just say it's the worst of these so far. See it only if you're a real head and you haven't checked it out yet. But just keep in mind, for no reason, it's 2 hours and 6 minutes of your time.
But I do have to say something about this 4th one, though. The trailer I saw, it opens. They're doing like the Dominoes thing. Yeah. Like, the opening thing was like, I need my it's like a quote from a tweeter, like someone who tweeted out like, I need blood and guts in my Expendables movie. And it's like, we heard you.
Oh,
we're gonna
we're sorry. The recipe is better now.
Yeah. Oh, here's Expendables for insurance. If you do not care for the movie, or if you spill your movie on the floor on the way to the parking lot.
And by the way, I'm loving it. Oh, wrong one. Oh, sorry.
According to IMDb, the new movie is going to be an hour and 43 minutes.
Oh, and it's rated R. You know, they did listen. They did listen to us, gang.
Steve Sadak.
No, yeah, it's a no. It's a big no for me. And all the things we just said. I think it's
the kids singing Neil Young. That's the last indignity in this movie.
And again, like, it's just setting up stuff that's never going to happen. Isn't that Die Hard? Did they set up his son to be? Did they set him up to be like, and maybe you'll be the new one, Junior?
I don't remember if that's the case with the young McClane boy.
Because I mean, here's the thing: pop culture died about 20 years ago, and we're just fucking circling the drain.
You're skull fucking the corpse, dude.
And that's what this is. And that's the funny part is, like, every time. The ironic part is like look at Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. It's like we're gonna pass the torch because pop culture will move forward. No, it's never gonna move forward. We want the same old fucks to get older and older and older and watch them do it. And then when they finally die, we'll recast them.
Yep.
Right, which we will do on this show, this podcast.
Eventually, yes.
We'll be recasted when we die.
That is going to do it for this episode on the abysmal Expendables 3. If you are catching this on the ad-free feed, that is the $8 and up tiers on our Patreon. We thank you for being the kick-ass Patreon subscriber that you are. If not, patreon.com/WeHateMovies. You can get a ton of shit on there, including ad-free episodes of this very show, We Hate Movies. But a whole lot more out there. We got a We Love Movies, all about, speaking of Wesley, Stephen Norrington's Blade, Chris Cabin's favorite movie of all time.
Just phenomenal.
Hell of an episode.
Hell of an episode, recorded in the daytime. I'm a little more with it on that one.
So you are a day walker, dude.
Yes,
thank you. Yes,
a day thinker.
We got a Gleep glossary out now on all them pod racer.
The pod racer pilots. Oh my goodness, what a motley crew of garbage. We go through all their stupid little bios and
all their cars. You're going to get to know all their vehicles.
Yes. All the make and model numbers of those things.
Oh, yeah.
We're having a lot of fun talking to King of the Hill on Animation Damnation for a little bit.
Right. That's going to be out later this month. We got what the heck? We recorded the Society-mentary that's coming out in October at some point. That's going to be a grand slam gag and barf of a commentary.
And if you're into commentary tracks, you subscribe at that $8 level, you unlock everything. We got tons of commentaries
including
on there.
all sorts of Kellan Lutz related commentaries with those
True.
Twilight movies.
Right.
So
Yes.
We'll do half of Kellan Lutz's filmography, apparently.
Oh, actually, fuck. We did all those Twilight movies and we did a commentary on Nightmare on Elm Street 2010.
And I swear to God, if that guy hit me with his car, I'd be like, I don't know who that was.
Yeah. I had no idea he was in any of that. So that's where I'm at with that guy.
There you go. Out now also for this month is another episode of Melrose 210. Talking about, speaking of singing theme songs, some sexy American pigs in Paris there. That's right. So that is on there. It's a ton of shit on patreon.com/We Hate Movies. Now, Steve Sadak on this ad-free feed and the commercial feed, because it's the same show minus commercials. The show continues next week with what motion picture being discussed?
Oh, the spooktacular will be starting early when you fall into my trap of only the 5th out of 10 Saw movies.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 5th time, shame on me.
Is that counting Book of Spiral or whatever that is?
That's a great question.
Spiral, I thought.
Is that now 11? We're technically at 11, maybe.
And we'll have to crunch the numbers next week.
We'll
we
figure
did
it out.
start. We did start dropping numbers eventually.
Yes.
It was Saw. This is Saw 5. Then we got Saw 6. Then you had a Saw 3D, which I think might have been 7. Then you got a Jigsaw.
When is Saw Retaliation? or Saw Resurgence?
Oh, Saw Resurgence. I think that's what this fucking new one is. Saw X, resurging in Mexico, getting ripped off by crooked doctors, which will be one of the funniest things you will see in theaters this year, no doubt about it. So until next week, when we're playing a game, I've been Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Siska.
Stone Banks!
Take it easy.